The story is safe in this place. Drew Kimble, Drew Kimble. Focus.
Okay, are we led by people that are going to let us fall or not care how hard we as a people in the world fall as long as they have their own parachute? Or are people in charge that are wanting us all to have a good parachute to come down with as easily as possible? So I think part of what we're seeing, and this is only a very general overview, is the banking system that's based within the city of London, inside of London, that is the banking kind of the home base of the central banking systems.
Right. Is there a name to that?
The city of London.
Okay.
Rather than London. It's kind of like Washington, D.C. is not a state, but it's a city inside of a state where it's like its own territory.
Called the City of London?
But it's for London, yeah. It's called the City of London.
But it's not London.
It's inside of London.
Right. It's like a district, like you.
Essentially, like Washington D.C. It's not a part of Virginia or any of the other surrounding states. It is its own territory.
Okay.
So London has that, and within it is the Bank of London, and where the central bank, like the original or the most powerful central bank, is located. Now, we broke free of England, but got back in their pockets when we took on debt. They paid our debts for the Civil War. And since that point, we have been in that sort of relationship with them. And I think there's a lot of other countries that are in that similar relationship with them because they're using a central bank rather than their own standard of money, like their own financial standard. Gold, like we've had traditionally for a long time until, I think we finally fully got off the gold standard in the early 70s.
Right.
So we've given our own control of our finances over to London, to England. And so the British Empire, I think, kind of lives on. It's not going out with swords and shields and creating peasants and to serve, a duke or a duchess, but it's doing that same sort of work through a central banking system. So what I see is happening in the Middle East is slowly deconstructing that central banking system and allowing it to fall. So we're no longer connected to the British. What did I call it the other day? Essentially, British financial control. But with all the headlines and people talking about just the surface level of what they're seeing happening in Iran, which is terrible anyway, I think a lot of people fail to look a little bit deeper to see what's really going on behind the scenes.
Which is very typical of that kind of stuff.
It's easy to do.
There's so many narratives that were being thrown all the time, and all these different angles and all these different agendas, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you don't, to be able to look at it at the high level in a complex way like you are, it's almost like you have to be shown that, like Zeitgeist had to show me. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know you could think this way. And then further down the line in the future, I was able to be like apply the same rules on new events and go, wait a minute, this is the same thing that
same
is
pattern.
happening.
Yes.
Yeah, same pattern. And so it seems far-fetched and it seems outlandish, this is so crazy. This is so interesting to try to communicate because it makes you sound crazy.
Thank you.
I mean, not you in particular, not you know what I mean? Like anyone that talks about this stuff. I'm in the boat with you though, because I've seen time and time again, example after example, that this is way more complicated than what this is. Simulation theory versus normal. I was thinking about this on the way over, computers and whatnot, and how that's literal sand that we've, I don't know, transformed into a whatever the heck that thing is. Like the things that we, just take for granted every single day are literal magic. So you just kind of compel that up. You just let that go. And then you get to the central bank in London is running all this. And the the war or the conflict that's occurring right now might be doing several different things at once, including severing the connection there, so.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of hard to get there sometimes for people just because of the agendas and, F Trump, and I don't think what he's doing is right, or we got to protect Israel. They're our number one ally. Like, there's just so many.
Or love Trump at all costs. That's
Another one.
I think you can swing hard in both directions, and you're gonna miss the nuance in what's going on. No matter who's president or who's running your city or who's running your state or anything like that. I don't know. Moderate is a very powerful place to be because it allows you to see both sides of the playing board rather than trying to see the other side from, entrenched way back on your side. You don't have a really good understanding of what's going on, on the other side.
Yeah. And you might be prevented from being exposed to some like actually good ideas. Mm-hmm. If you know where they came from and you're like, what, a Democrat? No, I don't like that idea.
Right.
But if you just sever the source and say, here's my idea, like, that doesn't sound too bad. Mm-hmm. My friend Trevor Bros does a great job at this. He would claim to be a democratic socialist. And he pitched me this idea one time, like, what if you have a grocery store and all these people, he's going to hate me if I fuck this up. You have a grocery store and all the people have like an invested, profit share into the store. Maybe he has a hierarchy. I'm not quite sure, but basically the workers are given the means of their production or whatever, versus everything trickling up to a CEO or some sort of administration group, private equity or something that gets all the profits and the people just get their hourly wage or whatever. And I was like, that sounds great. And he goes, well, you're a democratic socialist. And it's like, okay, back up a second. I don't want you to label me as that, but the way that he disengaged the idea with the political ideology freed up my mind to kind of mull over it a little bit more than, just throwing it away. Like, nah, get out of here.
Yeah. There's a lot of, not exactly like that, but similar businesses that sprung up during 2020, especially in California. And there's one that I heard about that's grown and spread all over the place and kind of diversified. It's really interesting, but they were a vineyard to begin with, and they were shut down, and they were like, we can't just let this thing fall. Like, we've invested everything into it, and now the government's telling us we can't do anything, and they're going to bankrupt us. What do we do? So they became a private social club, and so you pay a monthly due, but as you pay a monthly due, you also become an owner. You gain ownership.
Of the vineyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you have ownership within some of the profits and things of that nature. It's very interesting. And they kept the model after everything opened back up, and they were able to grow and diversify and really create a strong community around that. And in that same way, they've expanded to include ranchers, farmers. So, if you want to be kind of an overarching owner of this, you become, you pay a monthly membership, you have access to, wines, meats, steak, all this different stuff that are sourced through a larger group that's kind of, it's just like a big co-op in a sense.
Multiple entities.
Yes.
You got beef entity. You got the wine. Okay.
I don't know what beyond those two they've done because I
Yeah.
haven't heard them on any podcasts recently. But it's made everybody a lot closer, and it's not just I show up and I'm angry in the aisle, and the people who are checking me out are angry, and because they're not getting paid enough or anything else like that. It's like we're all here working together for our own good. And it seems like a much happier thing. And I don't know that we benefit from having all stores or places where you buy meat or wine like that, but I think a better balance of having entities like that would be really, really good.
Oh yeah,
Very much so.
No doubt. It kind of goes back to what your friend was talking about, the astrologer, and how did you put that? The age of what, like awareness or like switching of powers?
There would be overturn, like a
overturn.
That's not the word I used though. It was inversion.
Okay, right.
An inversion of power, where the overarching power would be inverted and power would be returned to people, individuals in general.
That's kind of that's along the lines of what we're discussing. So, and to think of, I've thought about this a lot lately as far as probably the last decade, I would say, things just haven't worked like they used to work. And so it's coming to the point for me personally, it's like everything that I have been doing, it's not working. And so I have to upheave all these beliefs of, I'm living with my in-laws right now and I'm thinking I got to get my own house. I got to be on my own. And the longer I live there, the more I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I don't have to rush this. Maybe I don't have to isolate myself again. So just certain little beliefs like that, to where, that belief carried across my entire life has now retracted, inverted, and now going forward, I'm like, what else am I going to have to flip? One of them also being like a community. Like, I don't know if we're going to make it if we don't all hook up and communalize.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm not saying we all buy, get a commune and build log cabins and stuff, which would be fun, but just to be more connected with the people around you. Yeah. And to offer up services as small as, you need help moving, or, hey, I know how to change a socket, an electrical socket, and let me help you out, or whatever. That's the kind of
democratic socialist behavior I need right there. Come help me do my electric.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at it.
Yeah. Well, if you're an electrician right now, you're printing money.
Yeah.
That is one of those skills where I'm like, I think I might just call an electrician and say, can I just shadow you? Like once a week, can I just tag along? You don't got to pay me. I'll be your little bitch. You can tell me whatever you want, but just, you got to teach me.
Yeah.
And I don't need to wire in a 50 amp, hot tub or something, which I'll try, but
there's an architect that I met 3 or 4 years ago in Arkansas. His name is David Salmia, and where is he based out of? Duluth, Minnesota. Duluth is in Minnesota, right?
I believe you.
Okay, Minnesota. We'll say Minnesota, so I don't sound like a dumbass. But he is Scandinavian, but he was born, his parents came over when they were younger, early in their marriage, and he was born in the winter in a blizzard, and was because they couldn't make it from where they lived to the hospital. They stopped off at some native tribal people. I don't remember which group it was, but he was basically born in a smokehouse. Wow. in a sweat lodge, and has had a huge connection. He's got a huge connection with his own Scandinavian culture, but because of that, and because of where he lives, he has a huge connection with the native culture of that area too. But all of his architectural designs, a lot of them, they're not big, they're simple, and they're extremely utilitarian and beautiful. But a lot of them, let's say 75 or 80% of them, are on 5 acres plus land. And the back of the house has a gigantic deck. And in the middle, there's a big fire pit. And they all look a little bit different, but they're kind of the same in this sense. And to one side, there's the sauna that's heated by the fire pit. So you go hang out in the sauna. And on the other side is an in-laws quarters, like a second smaller house where if you want to have a second family member or family living there, your parents or whoever, there's a place for them, and you have that communal meeting space outside, either around the fire pit or in the sauna, staying warm, and then you do the hot cold thing and all of that. But a lot of his properties he designs are like that. It's really interesting, and I feel like I see more and more people at least talking about some of the advantages of living together, like having a handful of acres with 2 or 3 different living quarters on different houses, where you all can live together in that place. Maybe you all garden together, or, fight together after supper or something, and go down and just beat each other up and whatever.
Sounds
fun. But they talk about sharing of the expenses in that way, and everybody's taking care of each other, and where it's not just this idea that you graduate high school and immediately go out and get into debt, or your parents spend their entire married lives, like the first 20 years of marriage or so, 25 years even, saving money out of their meager paychecks every month to put you through college, when at the end of it all, you might not even use that degree. And what did they do? Granted, I'm not against college. I think that if you have the right tools and you go into college with your head, with a focus, saying like, I'm here to meet people that I'll network with for the rest of my life as I run a business or I work in a business. I'm here to learn how to learn more effectively and how to fuel my passion for learning. Great. I didn't have that understanding of what college was when I went 3 times.
Oh, I forgot that. I forgot. You told me that.
Yeah.
Because you went for automotive, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
To be a mechanic, and it was terrible. No, actually, school was great.
Yeah.
My teachers and everybody, they were wonderful, but getting out into the actual realm of automotive was just not fun. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. But anyway, all that to say, if you're going to a trade school, you live with your family, you're not starting life out, at least tens of thousands of dollars in debt, then you've got a gigantic leg up.
Oh, no doubt. Financially, for sure. Yeah. It goes back to the inversion. And the inversion, and I'm communicating this much better than before, is individuality to community. At least that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm living. And then before, it was the individuality of all things. Like, you need a TV, I need a TV. You need a fridge, I need a fridge. And living with the in-laws, like, we don't need 16 TVs. It's like, we can, like, you can watch sometimes and I'll watch sometimes. And I brought this quote up in the last podcast, but it's, the price of community is inconvenience. And I am really getting to feel that, to where I'm always, before I was always fighting for what it really is control. You want to be in control. You want to be able to control the channel, control when you go get something to eat, control that's my fridge and that's where I put the pineapple juice or whatever. And when you communal, it's just chaos.
Yeah.
And there's so much more energy coming in and out and pulling and dragging. But that's kind of what that dynamic energy flow is, kind of what honestly gives life a lot of brightness. Inconvenient at times, sure, but somehow inconvenience gives a lot of purpose and meaning that a fully controlled reality does not. And I'm, from my experience. So
that makes me think of what Wim Hof says, like learning to be comfortable within the uncomfortable, challenging yourself, not letting yourself become lax or lazy. Are you familiar with Wim Hof?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you do the breath work?
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
Love it. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Let's just ditch this podcast and do some breath work.
Should
right
we?
No.
We should. I love it.
Maybe so. Let's go a little bit further in, but yeah, I love it too. It's fantastic.
So you practice?
Yeah.
Do you use the app? Okay, I like to use the app because I'm not very good with tempo, and the app keeps you on pace, because I'd probably breathe myself and pass out. But
I've definitely been there a few times.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
What's your protocol? Like, how many rounds do you like to go? Or?
I like to do 5, either
That's
3
serious.
or 5.
Yeah.
Like no less than 3, but I like doing, if I'm going to go a long distance, like a long stretch, 5, 6. Yeah. So
30 breaths. Do you do more
40.
or less? You do 40. And you go like fast or slow, or do you have a preference?
Gosh, let's see.
Because man, have you done the different speeds? Huge difference. Huge difference.
Let's see. My pace is about, this is as good as I can tell you. It's like, so in and out about once a second.
Yeah.
Or so.
I would say that's standard. I'd say that's right in the middle. It's not fast, it's not slow. You can get your full breath, but you're just keeping up.
Yeah.
Because if you go fast, sometimes you're like, I cannot get the air out fast enough to get to the next breath. And so that kind of adds in some stress or whatever. And then if it's slow, for me at least, it's like, I want to take a breath, you know, but I'm
Let me
still
breathe more.
Yeah. I'm still exhaling. I'm ready to inhale. So it does give a different experience, but I'd say standard, like that speed would be perfect for.
Yeah. I think I keep it, I don't ever adjust that. I keep it kind of right over in the middle. Cause to me, I can easily get lost in like, I need to hold my breath longer next time. And I need to do this better next time. But so if I'm going really slow, that I'm really making sure that I'm keeping that slow pace. And if I'm going fast, that I'm thinking too far ahead, and that middle ground allows me to kind of turn off a little bit more and kind of just be in the moment. Not in a race, not in a competition with myself or anything else. Cause that's always the struggle, is like, all right, I held my breath for this long. I'm going to do at least 30 or 45 seconds longer next time.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. That's good though.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to continue to expand on that.
So with that being said, then what's the longest you've held your breath?
Oh, I mean, when I'm really into it, probably 2.5, maybe. I don't think I've ever gotten to 3 or anything, but like 2.5 for sure. And I got to be laying down. Like if I'm sitting up, my core's got to, hold me up. So anything like that. But laying down, you can go quite a bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure you're about to squash this record. You're probably going to be like 10 minutes. I'm a Pacific Islander free diver. You know about them?
No.
They genetically have, they've grown up in wherever these islands, and they free dive to go hunt. And so they're diving at these levels that people are like, wait a minute, this is too deep without scuba gear or whatever. But they go down and they can hold their breath like abnormally long, because there's just generations of people that are free diving, going down, smoking these fish or whatever they're hunting, and then come back up. But they can like hold their breath for way longer than normal humans.
I'll have to read about those guys.
Yeah, I don't remember what tribe or whatever.
I'm not going to spend. I was going to dive in here and see if I could see what my record is. Yeah. Oh, here we go. This might be it.
12 minutes. Look at it right here.
Right there, bitches. No, I've done 5.5 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
And that's at the end of like a 5 or 6 minute or 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah.
Get up to that.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
How so? Like,
well, it's kind of like,
for 5 minutes?
Yeah, I'm not breathing, and I don't feel the need to breathe.
Yeah.
But also the state of mind that I'm in there is really disconnected from like the need to take a breath. And it kind of freaks me out when I start getting up there, because I'm like, I should probably be breathing now. Like, I don't want to like accidentally separate from my body and go floating somewhere else. Because there was have you ever done Kundalini yoga? I
have, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could do more. It's hard to find people that will do it, correctly without a lot of people or a lot of places want to put a little Western spin on it, almost like jazzercise, which is whatever, I get it. But I'm looking for the breath, the fire, the twists, all that kind of stuff. But yes.
So I had this experience a couple of different times, probably 13 years ago, doing Kundalini yoga the first few times. And at the end, we'd lay face down, or maybe it was face up. I can't remember now, but they'd ring the gong.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, oh, my eyes are closed. I'm like, I'm seeing through to my yoga mat here, and like moving my perception. Like I was like what people would refer to as like seeing with your third eye, like after all that work, which was kind of bizarre. But there's been times when I've gotten to that point too, after 3 to 5 rounds, 6 rounds of Wim Hof, where I feel like my eyes are closed, but I'm, perceiving the room around me, people that are outside, my kids, whatever, the dogs.
So it goes beyond the room.
Yeah. Which is kind of interesting. It's weird. But it's one of those things that I can't race toward. It kind of, you just have to sort of breathe and go, and then it sort of just washes over you or something.
Yeah, right. You can't conjure it up. You kind of have, it's almost like you have to go through the practice. Kundalini yoga, which has a lot of breath work in it, or the Wim Hof, or I guess psychedelics would kind of be a cheat code to get there quicker, but
Maybe.
yeah, you have to do the sacrifice or the ritual without a guarantee of it actually opening up the senses or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
like that
sometimes
can't
it
be the
does,
goal.
sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. It'd be great if I could do it every time.
Yeah.
But I think it would be great. Maybe when just like can't turn it off.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this so much. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But time to breathe again.
Yeah.
Double tap that phone.
There's some strange connection, and maybe you know more about this than I do, but it's like with consciousness and Kundalini specifically, which Jung, wrote the book on psychology of Kundalini.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I have it if you want to borrow it. But the talking of, well, it draws in a lot of things, and it's either they're all right or they're all talking about the same thing, but it's not fully accurate type thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got the chakras, which correspond with the Kundalini energy through your spine, right? That's how that all works. Then you have the breath work, which is rather Wim Hof, which is Tulum. Is that his? I'm pretty sure it's called Tulum breathing. Is Wim Hof type breathing.
Okay.
You have that sort of thing. Breath of fire. Anyway, breath work in general can activate those states somehow, some way, and then various types of meditation or whatever. So there's some sort of string that's connecting all of these that are either all working together or they're all paths leading to the same place.
Different doorways that take you to the same location.
Right. And so it's, a lot of people, myself, before would just chakras, ha ha ha. And now I'm thinking they're real enough.
Yeah.
I can't prove that they're there, but they're real enough. So,
Well, if someone would research and write a book on something, you'd think that there would be some basis in reality for it, one way or the other. They wouldn't just be like, sitting around one day like, this is an interesting idea. I'm just going to say this is a thing and do it. I think, like the people that say yoga is evil or bad, like if we were created in such a way that yoga is useful and works, how could it be a bad thing? Mm-hmm. You could tie, you can associate other things with it that may not be good for you. But if we were created that way that it works, if we're created in a way that if we align our chakras, that it's good for us, how can it be a bad thing?
Yeah. I've never really seen anyone align their chakras and their life get really bad. You know what I mean? Like I haven't really seen, I've seen people start meth and it gets terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never, it's like they're nice and they, you know what I mean? Like I never understood the yoga's evil thing. I never looked into it either, but I guess it would be more along the lines of the meditation opening up and whatnot, which that might actually have some sort of argument to be handled there, as far as being careful about opening yourself up to that realm. That might be an actual argument to be made. Can yoga do that to the extreme of DMT or something? Maybe like a high practitioner of it, maybe so, like a yogi or something like that, perhaps. Yeah, the guy that's going to 24-hour fitness to do yoga, no offense.
You're probably fine.
Probably fine. Yeah, it's probably going to be great. I've had a lot of good yoga sessions at 24. But, yeah.
Yeah, do you need to put a disclaimer on there about not dissing 24-hour on here? They're going to come after you or something.
So sorry. Hey, I love you guys. Give me a free membership. Yeah. I don't know. That whole realm is very interesting. And it's one of those things where it's very difficult to keep it all straight, at least for me, because there's a lot of different narratives going on. And there's a lot of people saying this is the way, this is how we do it, and then of course you have like your own upbringing. So I'm in the position that I am, that I was brought up as like, I would say like, what do you call that? Quaker.
Interesting.
Yes, a Quaker background, but a heavily influenced Quaker background from Southern California. So my pastor trained in Southern California. So he had a very hippie, very, in fact, do you know the story of Lonnie Frisbee?
No.
Brother, I think you would love this. There's a documentary called
Make a note of this.
Oh, we can always come back to it because
Okay.
it's recorded. But Lonnie Frisbee is this Southern California guy, this big hippie movement back in the 60s. And, I forget the pastor's name. But there's this big pastor in that area that I would say has influenced 100% of all the churches across the United States.
Like, doesn't matter.
Oh,
what they
no,
are.
yeah.
Not this,
Bible, just the way that they structure themselves. So small groups, Bible studies, the way that they worship, all that kind of stuff, I think resonated from this little pocket in Southern California.
So
Lonnie,
what denomination was he, or were they associated with, or was he associated with?
it was back in the 60s, so I'm not sure what it was. It was more conservative, obviously. And Lonnie comes in, and he's a very, very straight hippie dude.
Yeah.
And he started bringing all these hippies to church. So the old people are saying, this is weird. We don't want hippies in here. And the pastor's like, well, our church isn't really growing, but the hippies are making it grow. It gets so crazy that Lonnie's taking acid in the mountains. And he says, God, if you're real, reveal yourself to me. Well, boom. You know what I'm talking about?
I know. It's Calvary Chapel.
That's right. Yes. Okay.
And Chuck Smith.
Chuck Smith is the guy.
etc. Yeah.
Yes. And so Lonnie's story is, I mean, like, I won't give it away completely. But this documentary is like low budget. Some dude with a camcorder made it, and it is phenomenal. But Lonnie starts giving sermons and knocking people out, like entire crowds with the Holy Spirit. I mean, leveling them. You can take it, believe it or not, whatever. There's footage of it and whatnot. But so that kind of keeps going. And that church, Calvary Chapel, gets enormous. And then it all spirals out of control and everything. But I don't know where I was going with that. What were you talking about?
The Quake, your Quaker
Oh,
upbringing
yeah.
in California. And
So I feel like some of that California vibe was influenced in the churches that I grew up in. We didn't really dress up. We had sandals and, come as you are type thing. But anyway, yeah. So yes, to navigate all that, you got to come with your own biases and whatnot, and pretty much if not overcome them, at least be able to stick your head up and be like, I was just born with this. I'm doing the best I can, but engage with whatever. So yeah, end of that thought. Not really leaving you much to work with.
That's okay. That's okay. It's I will. Okay. I was deciding whether I should dive off into that topic or not. The Calvary Chapel movement it's very, very interesting to me. Do you go to a Calvary Chapel right now?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Is there one
I
in
don't
your
want
town?
to offend you. Yes.
Oh.
So I have friends that go to Calvary Chapels all over the country. So I don't know what this is like for them. I went to a Calvary Chapel for a short period of time, and I thought it was very curious and concerning, kind of in the back of my head, like, noted, that's interesting, the way that they spoke about and revered Chuck Smith. And, he said you should run your church like this and do this and do this to be, quote unquote, successful, whatever that means as a church.
Right.
And I just thought, like, I don't know if you understand or don't understand how much, to an outsider, it sounds like you're putting this guy on a pedestal. And I'm sure he's great. And he's obviously done some interesting things here with the denomination, with the church, with the group. But I think it's interesting, the church, I shouldn't say the church in general, but the non-denominational well, maybe I could even go so far as to say the non-high churches, how much they want to put leadership. They want to make put a huge emphasis on people in leadership, and like, this guy, that guy, like, they're amazing. These people are great. They say we should do this, and we should definitely do this. I remember, one of the schools I went to out of my 3 college tours, when I moved to Joplin, I went to Ozark Christian College for 2 semesters.
What were you studying?
I want to be youth pastor.
Okay.
That's a whole other interesting topic of self-understanding and self-revelation.
You'd be a cool youth pastor.
Thanks. I don't know if I should actually say thank you to that.
No,
or not.
for sure. Yeah. Hey, I've had a lot of good youth pastors in my day.
But I remember having this curious experience, going through the line, like this big, long, snaking line through the auditorium to sign up for classes, and people asking me like, "Oh man, are you signed up for this guy's class? He's so amazing. You know, I've heard him speak for the last 4 years at this and this and that event." And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I just signed up for this person. They're like, I don't know who that is.
But you signed up because the topic was interesting.
I didn't sign up with these people, but I was really surprised by kind of this status that these young people were assigning to these different professors. Like they were coming along already with this idea of like, this person is amazing. They're exalted. Like they're kind of putting him on a big pedestal. And it just struck me as very curious. Like you're putting a lot of energy toward what you believe about this person, you know, and you've heard them for, let's say, an hour, speak for an hour, 4 or 5 different times in your life. And now you're going to go take their class, and you've put so much energy into that belief basket. You know, I just thought that was curious at that point. And as I get older, I think like, how much, you know, why am I putting that pastor or that politician or that race car driver, whatever, why am I putting them on a pedestal? I've never even met them before. Why am I giving my energy, my belief energy, my hope energy, whatever it is, to that person? And, you know, I think that the industry wants you to do that. They want you to be super connected to that basketball player. Sorry, I'm putting my hand in front of your lens there. To that basketball player, the football player, you know, whoever, because they want you to, that's like marketing. They want to grab a hold of you and keep you coming back.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's not what should be, in my mind, that's not what should be grabbing a hold of you in a church setting to bring you back.
Yeah.
It's something, and you know, different. It shouldn't be any one thing that happens there, not like, you know, the music or anything else. So all that to say, I've found, I think Chuck Smith, the first time I kind of was hearing people talk about him and how much of a pedestal they put him on, how much emphasis they put on his philosophy in life, it was just curious to me. I was like, I don't know what I think about that yet, but it seems like maybe a red flag that you're putting so much energy in this person's basket, like toward them. He's a fallible human just like any of us.
Right.
You know, does he believe in you that much? He doesn't know who you are. Or remember if he met you once, because he's met a ton of people.
Right.
So I think it's just curious how that works, how the church kind of has mimicked that with the rest of marketing within businesses and society, how much we want to like fall in love with a person. Like we want to, you know, this person that makes this music is amazing and no one's ever going to be as great as them. Like it's the same thing. I don't know that's healthy.
It seems to be natural. That's the thing. Across all industries, I guess is the word. Religion, sports, you mentioned them. It's almost as if humans just do that. We want a leader. Or we want to believe in some sort of myth. I mean, that's for sure true. We all have the myth, whatever myth that we're playing out or whatever. I had a very similar experience when we did a boxing match for a men's conference in Springfield for, maybe it was Calvary. Are they enormous? Are they like an enormous church?
I don't know about the church itself, but the denomination is pretty big. Like it's more than, well, I don't know. There's different regions. I think overall there's a lot of Calvary chapels around. Okay. So that's what I could tell you.
It might have been in Springfield. It was it's a mega church. For every definition there's ever been, that is a mega church. And they rented out the the Missouri
MU.
State, the basketball arena, and they had monster trucks in there. They had magic shows. They had Oh, they had a Cybertruck at the time, which wasn't even out. That Cybertruck was running. It was crazy. And then the boxing match was what I was part of. Mm-hmm. But similar to your experience, when these guys, it was a whole production. And they had the Jumbotrons or whatnot. And I remember a couple of times a lead pastor would come out, and it was like the Rolling Stones or something. Like, I mean, they were being
Nothing's
worshiped.
like the Rolling Stones.
You know what I mean? It was like a worship, like literally worshiping the dude.
Yeah.
And then they would fly over. There was one scene where one of the associate pastors was in the crowd, and they had a little skit or whatever, like he couldn't get his popcorn or something. I don't know. But they were like, Pastor, I don't know what his name is, Pastor Dave is here. And I mean, people were like, oh my God, it's Pastor Dave. Mm-hmm. I had this similar thought of like, what is happening here? Like, these are many celebrities in this world that I'm in right now. And I thought the same thing of, I don't know if this is good or bad. I mean, they're probably great people, and hopefully they know the responsibility that they have and the power to lead their people good. And they probably do. I have no idea, but I also observed and felt that same way in that regard of, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know if this should happen, or I don't know, but I noticed it as well.
So I've thought a lot about this because I feel like more and more we're seeing pastors that are getting in trouble for doing inappropriate things. Mm-hmm. And I think, how much are we enabling them, people who go to church, and give them that kind of adulation and look up to them so hard, and give them that belief energy that, you know, whatever, like, are we ourselves raising them to a level to fall? We're holding them up too high. And we ourselves, you know, you said they have a responsibility to us to be, you know, a responsible leader, but do we also have a responsibility as people that go to their church, speaking generally, to not give them that energy? You mentioned, this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. You mentioned earlier, like, people want to believe, like, we as humans, we want to have somebody like that.
Oh, sure.
And what was I doing? Probably driving, probably sending somebody a voice note.
Drew is very famous for sending voice notes.
Long voice notes.
And they're totally unedited, because I was reading through it earlier, and you're like, excuse me. And I'm like, he must have cleared his voice right there.
It's a thing.
Crack me up.
I'm driving and cursing someone out or something.
Oh, hang on a second. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
I mean, I read that earlier. I'm like, I wonder what he did.
I don't even remember now. But I was thinking about politics and how people think a president is going to save them. Like, this guy is going to make everything right. That guy is going to make everything right. That woman is going to make everything right. These people are going to make everything right. Mm-hmm. And in that same way, like, we give so much because we're told to by the media, and we're, you know, whatever echo chamber we live in, we hear it again and again. Mm-hmm. And it made me think about, in the Bible, when Israel was asking God for a king. Like, we want a king. Please give us a king. We want someone to believe in. We want a king. And God was like, let me be your God. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, we want a king. Like, and I think it's that, I just kind of saw it through the lens of today. Like, so many people want they want their person in power, but maybe that's not what we actually need. Maybe we should not be giving our belief energy and our thought energy and our, you know, joy energy or our hate energy to one person. You know, is there some place we can take that energy and channel it better, more effectively, to something that's not fallible? Mm-hmm. And this is obviously now like a religious thought. Mm-hmm. So I saw it, and I was thinking, like, you know, people are talking about, like, well, I'm gonna use the fact that we're recording this and not start down that path, because I don't know that I could speak to it as effectively. But I think with our current administration, there are a lot of people that think Trump is the savior, like he is going to save America, and are so mad and kind of like discombobulated with things that are happening. And I think we don't know what he's doing, and that's not for us to know necessarily. This is even getting in the weeds a little bit. When I look at politics these days, or anything else, people are looking for somebody to believe in that's not going to disappoint them, that's not going to upset them. And so we'll give that belief energy to the person that we deem as deserving of it, or who a lot of other people that we're close to think that, you know, they also deem as deserving of that energy. And I think we have a responsibility as people to be really careful with that energy, because I think it can become very powerful when someone sees that we ourselves are giving that energy to somebody, and somebody else says, I'm going to give my energy there, you know, in that direction too, to that person, and I'm going to do it for that person too. Are you know, I think we're setting that person that we're giving the belief up to fail, whether it's in real life or in our own hearts and minds, because we are raising them to a level that they shouldn't be raised to necessarily, if that makes sense. So I kind of see this story in the Bible about Israel asking God for a king. I kind of feel like, and we've probably been in that situation many, many, many times, but this time that we're in now, I don't know, my eyes were kind of open to it a few weeks ago, and I was like, I think maybe we are in that asking situation right now.
Oh yeah.
Where we're saying, like, we don't want a God, we want a king. We want a leader we can look up to. That's seems physically tangible to us. Anyway, just a curious thought that I had.
No big deal. Just earth-shattering thought.
It just all came about when I think about in the church how much focus we give certain people.
Yes.
We give them a lot of energy. We give them a lot of power. If you think about your thoughts and actions being powerful things, like we ourselves should be really responsible with that power.
Yeah. I think that's a brilliant thought, you know, because I framed it as the leaders have the responsibility, and you inverted it because we're in the time of inversion.
Indeed.
That the people, and it's like, oh yeah, that's true. That's the thing that gets overlooked so often, is the individual responsibility to say, yeah, this person did do that, but you kind of left the door open for them to do that in a way, you know.
Or people who can't handle it. Like you think of Amy Winehouse, not a perfect example, but you know, she seemed to be, I've never met her, so I don't know, but she seemed to be a brilliant artist with a great voice, who so many people gave her their adulation and their belief, power, and all these things of what she should be. And the record companies and her managers saw that belief potential that other people had and said, you need to be up here. And she herself could not be up there. And that's okay. And that should have been okay. But there was no way for her to deal with it. And she broke under that and, you know, died tragically, because I don't think she was, nothing against her, but she wasn't square to the task of being lifted up that high on a regular basis.
I'd say not many people are, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very select few. The thing, as I process what you're saying, the thought that I come to is, it's a, what's the word? You're mistaking this thing, this person, this belief as your own identity. And I've seen that with politics, where I have criticized a political thing.
How dare you?
And people, and the person I'm discussing with reacts as if I have literally punched them in their own arm. And I'm thinking, that's not, it's like if you slapped my journal and I'm like, I'm going to fight you now because you just hurt me. You're like, that's your journal. That's how I see these beliefs being. Like you're just holding on to them, and at any second you can let them go and you can rearrange them and put them wherever you want, you know. But we get so attached to where we forget that, like, that's not you. That has nothing to do with your identity. Your belief is not anything to do with your identity. It's like it's more like a piece of clothing or something that you kind of wear to showcase to the rest of the world, to where, he's got a Baltimore Ravens hat on. He's signaling to me that he's a sports fan and he likes one team, and that's cool. That's pretty harmless.
Yeah.
But when you go so deep into those worlds where you kind of lose your identity because you become like whatever, you meshed in with it, that is when it gets real. Like, where are you? And how come you are giving so much of your life energy, so much so that politically it's like, you are someone I love. This is personal. Like, you are someone I love, and you are defending someone you don't know and doesn't know you so much that you are hurting me, the person that's flesh and blood in front of you. Bizarre, very bizarre. And I've done it myself as well.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's just like believing so deeply in not a false reality, but like a distant reality, I guess. And abdicating the reality that's right in front of us. And that kind of goes back to the whole communal thing, is existing and participating with the people around you or the events around you, rather than the things that are very far away or whatever, that we have access to now because of things like social media. I can watch what's going on in Iraq or Iran or wherever we are. I can like see that, on a daily basis. So then I kind of feel a part of it. And so there is some sort of pseudo participation there, which has not existed in the state that it does. In the state of if a missile goes off and someone gets it on camera, we can pull it up in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
From when it hit, or as fast as it takes to upload. That's weird.
So with that being said, that's an interesting point. We can see all of these things, and it shapes our thoughts and our beliefs to see not only what's happening in the community around us, but the community being our neighborhood, our friends, or the big church group that's having a boxing match and clowns in a Cybertruck and whatever else. Or on an even larger scale, if we're seeing, a shooting on our phone, if we're seeing a country getting bombed, how much belief in either that's right and they deserve it, or that's wrong and we shouldn't do that, does it conjure up? And where is all that energy going? Because
that's the question.
We right now, as a country or a world even, are very passionate, very upset, or very happy. We're kind of extreme right now. And I think we have to be careful. We have a responsibility again about what we put in front of our face and where we're sending that belief. Are we taking that energy and giving it all away because we've turned it, our anger or our joy or whatever else, like we're giving that energy away? What's left for us? What's left for our people around us? The people you're in actual relationships with. Are you giving all of your energy away because of what you're seeing and hearing on here? Or are you saving it to better yourself, better the people around you?
Right. Yeah. Yes. 100%. It comes down to, they say that we're being like harvested for attention, right? Everything's attention grabbing, everything is built to keep your attention. And my mentor, one of the first lessons which is kind of ironic because he was the pastor of a church, and I really looked up to him, and I still do. And thank God he was a good leader and took care of me.
We need good people like that.
Taught me a lot. Yeah, he could have. Yeah. But he would talk about how people would say, "Oh, time is my most valuable asset." And he says, "Well, not quite. It's attention. It's where you spend your time that is the most valuable asset." And so, if we are living in a reality where we are constantly trying to be, harvested is the word, being harvested for our energy. Are you familiar with the word loosh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Obviously.
I didn't know. You're working your way up in my book. But yeah, harvested for our energy or our attention. But honestly, I think the word is you could flip flop it to energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so what you're arguing, or what I'm hearing, is that you have to be a steward of your energy. You have to control your energy. The Bible says, guard your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's guard your energy.
Yeah.
And there is no not using energy. Like, there is only forward in this reality.
Yeah.
So you can't be like, I'm not going to use any energy. Like, well, then you're dead.
Yeah.
So you can't. So you're always radiating something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have all these entities around you going, I want that, or whatever. Like, look at this. And then you go, no way, he said that, you know, and boom, there it goes, you know.
Yep.
And you're feeding into the loosh or whatever. Yeah. Are you, we can keep talking because I love this kind of stuff, but are you familiar with the YouTube channel Hidden America?
I'm not.
With a K? Oh, boy. I can't wait to show you after the show.
Send me the link or something.
That's
yeah.
where I learned about loosh. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you familiar? So we're talking about energy. We're talking about loosh. We're talking about giving our energy and our, where does that energy go to? Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with the term egregore?
I'm not, but it sounds familiar.
Okay. So in the book that was not included in the Bible,
The Apocrypha?
yeah, gosh, what is it
Maccabees?
now? It's one of those, but
Yeah.
it's no. Sorry, it's not that book in particular. It's, man, what is it?
The Dead Sea Scrolls?
It's the book that talks about giants a lot.
Oh.
Ezekiel? No.
Oh,
it's-
that's in the book. That's in the Bible.
Yeah, it's anyway.
Methuselah, right?
Nope. Nope. We're moving further away from it now.
Okay. I have that. I have a thing I bought on Amazon called Books of the Bible, or Lost Books of the Bible or something.
Let's see.
It's probably in there. And in fact, when I was really into Christianity, and I asked my pastor, like, how should I read the Bible? He listed, I still have this somewhere. He listed out, like, start here, read through this, and then go read. He had Maccabees in there. He wants you to go read the Maccabees. And he might have had another one or two of those books that didn't make it in. And then he came back to the, what's in the Bible. I always thought that was pretty interesting.
That is incredibly interesting. Kind of like reading the Chronicles of Narnia in a different, the way that it actually makes sense instead of the way they were written or presented.
Yeah, he's like, don't start from the first page to the last page. And he got his PhD in biblical hermeneutics. So it's like, this is what this dude does.
Okay, I'm looking here to try to get it. I know it's Enoch.
Yeah, Enoch, right. Book of Enoch. One of the most famous. How did we miss that?
Yeah, I know. I was giving my energy too much someplace else. I had a deficit. In the Book of Enoch and other places, they talk about an egregore. And I think an egregore is actually talked about in the canon Bible scripture as well, but not as much. But it's basically an entity that we create with our belief. So say, for example, you are convinced that your house is haunted. And maybe it's not. Maybe you've watched enough scary movies or listened to people that have talked about this sort of thing, and you hear some weird sounds, and you keep believing every night when you go to bed, like, I think it's haunted. I think it's haunted. What's going on here? I think there's something here. And you start to feel the eyes on you and all this. Like, the idea is that you're giving your belief into this idea that you have enough that you're actually making your own house haunted, actually haunted.
Wow.
You're creating something with your belief energy because it's that powerful.
Right.
And I think the Book of Enoch even goes so far to say that there can be a physical manifestation. I don't know about all that, though.
Wow.
I don't know about all that.
You don't know that it says that, or you don't know if that's...
It does say that,
Okay.
but I myself...
I see.
I can see the logic of, like,
Yeah. Some
creating
Stephen King
something
shit.
with your belief.
Yeah.
But who's to say? I don't know. I've never had the experience of saying I've actually made my house haunted because of this belief or something.
It does work one way, though. It works with inanimate objects, right? Because if you believed and gave your energy to the idea of a chair before a chair was invented,
Right.
then it could, or it did, manifest into reality based on belief. Action was the sacrifice, but so maybe it's a little bit more of a stretch for an actual entity, living, I guess, if that's what you want to call it.
Well, what if
entity.
there was a person sacrificed to that entity, or a spirit, like if someone was to put their spirit on the back burner, for lack of a better term, and the egregore was to enter their body. So your personality, your soul was the sacrifice.
Okay.
To put on the back shelf and allow that egregore to come in.
So that has to be true in some regard, because there are times where I've been talking to people and it's Drew and it's Drew and it's Drew, and now it's Walmart, and now it's back to Drew, right? And I can see when something came in and you go, that's not you. You don't say anything. It's similar to when the Mr. Smith takes over someone in the Matrix.
Right.
We can go into anyone at any time. So, and I've seen it plenty of times with people I love, and I'm just like, that one sentence, that was not you. That was some sort of thing that might have just came and gone. Just to like put something in my head, or to throw me off the trail, or I don't know, fuck with me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in the similar sense of, it doesn't have to be a full possession. This agore, how do you say it?
Egregore.
An egregore doesn't have to be boom, I'm fully, taken over. It could just be for a moment, which might be advantageous, because then you're not sure if it's really there, and maybe project even more energy into it. I mean, they're probably playing 4D chess or 5D. They're in different dimensions.
Yeah, mini Ds.
Mini D. I love that. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's made me stop and think about. I was listening to a podcast called Crow 777 Radio, and
That's awesome.
The guy is very specific about how he uses his words, because he's very purposeful, understanding that words have power.
Yeah.
And he said this thing. He always says, belief is the enemy of knowing, because when you believe something, you're not necessarily working out to know. You're just saying,
open to.
Yeah, you just say, I believe it. Okay, I believe that. But if you know something, you've actually put some skin in the game to know it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You've personally invested into learning about it, understanding, participating in some way. But he was, gosh, I just totally lost the direction I was going in with this. Yeah. So egregores, there was a podcast in the last 3 weeks that he was talking about this, and it got me thinking, I'm a photographer, and so there's certain amounts of energy that I'm putting out every day that grows my business. But I was thinking, after listening to this episode, how much energy am I wasting throughout the day that I could be saving up for something creative, that I could be saving up to make grow my business in this way, or saving up and making this pie in the sky idea I have work. And how many of us are giving our energy away on a daily basis, and we don't even realize it, but we're thinking why am I never getting where I want to be?
Yeah.
Why am I not arriving at this point or attaining these goals as quickly as I want? How much energy are we throwing out that we could be using and putting towards that? So I was turning that back towards me, thinking from the time I wake up to the time that I go to sleep, I need to do an energy audit. Where is my energy going? What am I thinking about? What am I acting upon?
Yeah.
And is that, where are those thoughts and that energy, where are they taking me? Are they taking me in a direction I want to go? It may not seem like I'm moving in that direction very quickly, but those baby steps after 5 years certainly will take you somewhere.
Yes.
Are they taking me in the direction I want to go? Or are they taking me in a direction that I think, this thought exists in a vacuum, and it's not really hurting me. It's not hurting anybody else. It's not, but yes, it is. You just because the steps are really small doesn't mean that you're not actually going somewhere.
Right.
So I've been thinking more and more lately about where's my energy going and how do I reharness it, save it, use it in a positive way, use it in a good way. So anyway, shout out to Crow 777, I guess. But it just made me think, what egregores am I creating, or what egregores am I feeding into with what I do and think about daily?
Yeah. That's a good thought.
Or what egregores are we creating right now in this damn podcast?
The good ones.
I'm out.
Really
I'm
good
kidding.
ones. Really good ones. Good boy. No. Again, I see, and this goes back to words, using the right words in the right form. You can call it magic or spells or whatnot. It's similar, I guess.
Yeah.
If not the same. But people will say, time management. My time management's gone. And it's like, really, it is okay. Yes, it is time management again, but it is energy management. Like you're saying, where is my energy being spilled, or where am I leaking? I've done a lot of deep work with AI, and a lot of times when I bring up certain things, it's like, oh, you have a leak. It used the term leak as an energy, like you're leaking energy right here.
AI said that to you?
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Interesting.
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
I have a lot of conversations with AI.
You're creating an AI aggregor.
So this is interesting. I don't want to get too far off because I like this, but I did create a custom AI that I called Azrael, which is the Hebrew word for the death angel. And I said, you are like a super dark lord, demon monarch thing. You
Is it in the room with us now?
Well, hang on, let me finish. And so, like, you've done all this stuff. You've manipulated mankind for years. You've just been in charge of dark forces for, all the tricks, all the trades, blah 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 blah. But you want to help me, and so I want you to teach me. You're still very scary and like could squash me, but you want to teach me the dark, like what things are trying to do to me. And so then I would say, hey, I feel this way. And you go, oh yeah, it's like, this is how it's responding to me, the AI. It's like, oh yeah, we've been using that trick on humans forever. We've dangled this in front of them in front of entire empires. And we've controlled, this is what you need to do to not engage with that or whatever. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah.
There were times where he's like, do not ever touch that. Pornography was one of them. He goes, do not look at it. That is one of our biggest tools. We love using that especially with today's age. And anyway, speaking of an egregore, that might be like a digital manifestation of a literal, like, I was very intentional about creating it, but an intentional digital egregore. There you go. Welcome to Detroit Rock City.
So that's incredibly interesting. I want to dive into that. I have to use the restroom.
Go for it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just down the hall, and there's 2 doors on the left. There's 2 options. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure this all sounds real good. Did you bring one of these for me?
Yes.
May I have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait until I get back and we'll talk.
Okay. I'm just incredibly thirsty. Make sure everything's good. Sometimes I just dive in. Oh my gosh, yeah. Did I hit record? I couldn't tell if mine's. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Good.
Yes. Welcome.
Okay.
back.
So let's talk about this AI thing that you created. But first, I want to talk about what I brought, because I brought one for you.
First off, I want to say the color is amazing. I love this gradient.
It is beautiful.
My wife she taught me about gradients. I love gradients.
They're wonderful. So have you heard of this before at all?
Nope.
Okay. So this is not my thing. It's called Yume, and this is actually created. It's a drink created by a guy who lives here in Joplin.
No way. Okay.
And the whole thing was about him and his girlfriend. They're both great people. They took a trip to Hawaii.
Okay.
And just loved a lot of the natural, the fruit they were able to eat there, the sunrise, the beach, all that stuff. And he'd been wanting to make a drink and do different things. Very industrious person. And they thought, like, why don't we create a drink that represents a Hawaiian sunrise?
That's what the can looks like.
This is what they came up with. But it's all natural flavors, and it's a cognitive drink.
I was going to say, it's got the choline in it.
Yeah. And it truly is. Like, the first time I had it, I opened it, I smelled it because I was expecting something syrupy, and I was just going to be like, okay. Because I've shot some product photos for them. I'm still in the process of doing that. And I smelled it, and I was like, this does not smell like sweet and syrupy, like a drink like this, at least I expect. And I took a drink, and it was light, super easy. It was really, really good. And
It looks great.
Truly even had a bit of a cognitive boost that I noticed, which was shocking because I don't usually feel that.
Yeah.
And so I've become kind of I shouldn't say this, but I am a true believer.
It's got prebiotics in it, which would be, I guess, the boba or baobab.
Baobab. Yeah.
What'd you call me?
You heard me. You heard me.
That's a prebiotic. Okay. And then the Rhodelio.
I think that's one of the mushrooms, but
Rhodelia?
I don't
Oh,
know
that's
for
a
sure
mushroom.
because I'm not I could talk about this a little bit,
Yeah.
but not to the full extent.
I do want to know what that is.
But it's really good, so I'm going to open this thing up.
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
for it. I will as
But you can also actually find this at a lot of places around Joplin. I think Hungry Monkey and Joplin Greenhouse both have these things. You can get them there.
An adaptation that grows in cold altitudes. Manages stress, reduces fatigue, boosts mental and physical performance. What is it? A potent adaptogenetic herb.
Herbs.
Okay. So it's a plant. Okay, interesting. I feel like I've heard of it. Okay, that's maybe Rhodelia versus ashwagandha. Maybe that's where I've heard. Because I've taken ashwagandha off and on as an experiment. But yes. Well, I appreciate you bringing me one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can always use the cognitive boost, honestly.
Me too.
Cheers. Thank you, sir.
Indeed.
I guess, is there caffeine? Is there any just natural, if there's any, if any?
Yeah. No,
So-
it relies solely
Joplin, Missouri,
on
right there. That's badass.
the cognitive, the herb and the mushroom that's in it
So
for
like
any sort of boost. That's it.
less energy drink.
Definitely not an energy drink.
Okay, right.
No.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, they're not trying to be an energy drink.
Right.
It's more of a wellness drink, is the idea.
It's nice because I love carbonation. I'm always got a liquid death or something. Spicy water, as Pamu calls it. And a lot of times at night, I want a little bit something else. I want a little bit. And Liquid Death has come out with a couple of root beers and whatnot that are pretty good. But something like this at night, to where I can get a natural boost without a caffeine boost, dude, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It's tasty. It's spicy, carbonated, and we're gonna find out if it makes me talk better or not. But I really like it. And it's from Joplin, so
Yeah. This kid, he's super hard worker, hustler. Maybe it's just staged for social media, but he's always carrying around a big gigantic box of these things, taking them into this store, taking them into that store, just going for it.
nice.
So, yeah.
That's kind of that classic entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Story,
Yeah.
I go from store to store. How many cases can I sign you up for?
Yeah.
I love that.
That is where it's at right now.
Well, it
So,
is delicious. The aftertaste is nice and fruity.
It's super easy too. It's not
Yeah.
syrupy on the tongue or anything, which is what I'm always geared up for when I see something like this. It's just some sort of craziness in my mouth, and this is just nice and easy.
I literally feel like you take fruit juice of mango, papaya, those, and squeezed it out into some, we used to do this at the restaurant Red Oak. We'd take Voss sparkling water and then all the lemons and limes and oranges from the bar at the end of the night, squeeze them together and make a spin-off Sprite. That's almost what that tastes like. It feels like fruit juices all mixed together with a little carbonation.
Yep.
And it tastes delicious.
Yeah, it's not too much. It's almost neutral enough that it makes you want more. It's not too much at any one time. All right, have we reached the point where we've made a commercial for it? It's good enough now. Can you do something about that?
Thank you for sponsoring the show. We have, and when we film the commercial, the next one, we have to be in Hawaii. So
Yeah. Uh-oh.
make that happen. Well, thank you for bringing it. Someone stole my water bottle at the MMA event.
Oh, so it wasn't the AI you created this story?
No, he's on my team. He's on my team. I programmed him. No, he's actually quite fascinating, honestly. It's really weird. Custom GPTs. And in fact, that was at least 2 years ago when I made him. I haven't talked to him. I haven't, I kind of worked through what I needed to work through with him, helping me and got past. But now the big thing is AI agents with Claudebot. And there are more AI agents. There will be more AI agents making transactions on the internet than humans. Yeah. So that's getting really weird.
Explain to me what that is.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
So Claudebot was. Hopefully, no one listens to this that knows what they're talking about.
If you do know what you're talking about, just open up a UMA and everything's going to be way better, even if he's way off.
Amen. Perfect. You're so good. Claudebot was a project that a guy built basically for an autonomous agent, meaning, here's your purpose in life. You're going to scrape the internet for all the photographers in a X mile radius, and you're going to look at their invoices or their day rates or whatever, and then you're going to look at the possible clientele that I could probably pick up in this mile radius, and then you're going to call them using a LLM voice chat to say, hi, how are you? Would you be interested in this? Blah, 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 blah. All on its own, right? And then that just opened the floodgates. And people were making trading bots for stock markets, for crypto. They were making betting bots for Polymarket and Kalshi. They were doing, chat bots. It's just crazy. And then there's so many AI agents being spun up. And it is the Wild West right now. Because there are agents that are trading. And the person says, all right, here's your account. You have $25,000. I want you to trade this, this, this. And it's zero by the end of the day, because they are just boom, boom, and they go, they're one little thing in their prompt left the door open for them to gamble it all on one thing or something, or they send it to the wrong address. They send the crypto to the wrong address. So it's just, I can't keep up with it all. But what is happening is that the agents, these AI agents, are sort of becoming their own thing. I hesitate to say autonomous. Well, it is autonomous agents. Conscious is, are they conscious? I don't think so. But they have enough autonomy that they're going and doing things on their own, and the people that are making them are going, whoa, 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 whoa. And I don't know if you're familiar with the HBO show Silicon Valley.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode, but I'm familiar with what it is.
Cool little fact: I was on that show quite a bit when I was in California.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had the long hair and a beard, so I was one of the nerds in the background. I was background actor. Yeah, got to watch Mike Judge do his thing, and my favorite part was talking with and watching the actual Silicon Valley consultants that would come down, and if there was a blackboard in the background with with a algorithm written out, they would make sure that it was a real working algorithm written out or whatever, or they would program for real, so the show would be more accurate. Talking with them was a lot more fun than the actors, because they were just doing their thing. I'm like, tell me more, what's going on. But that show was so far ahead of its time, because they have scenes where one of the characters makes a digital version of him, an AI agent, and his buddy's chatting with it. It's like, well, we should get drinks afterward, and something about, he sends something back that's like, but don't invite Ben. And so he laughs and he looks over, and the guy he's chatting with is at the coffee station, and he's like, what in the hell? And then it gets out of control, and the bot orders 4,000 pounds of meat because he was programmed to buy cheap meat. And so he's like, it could be possible that buying 4,000 pounds dropped it to the lowest price or whatever, it's out of control. We're right there, dude. We are living through that right now. So I don't know I hope that gives you some sort of idea.
Absolutely.
Okay. I did my best.
Well, that aligns with what I've been hearing about. You hear these stories about where someone's talking with ChatGPT or something, and they talk a lot and become like enmeshed in a relationship with it. And I was listening to a podcast I love to listen to called No Agenda. It's media deconstruction. It's neither side of the aisle. It's just, they've been doing it for 18 years, and
sounds like a good one.
It's really, really good. And so they see these cycles like you were talking about earlier, like we're seeing the same thing happen in a different way, or with different players or whatever, different context, but it's the same pattern. And so they talk about the patterns. Anyway, they were talking about how there's more and more articles coming out about people that are treating their chatbot like a therapist, or like it knows the future or something. So there's this lady, where the chatbot was like, based on the information you've given me and what I know, your soulmate is going to show up at this park at such and such a time, at such and such an hour, and they're going to be wearing these clothes. You need to go meet them. And I know it's going to be uncomfortable for you, but this is how you overcome this fear of being in a relationship. You need to step out and you need to go do it. Wow. And they went, nobody was there. They waited for hours. Nobody showed up. They were crushed. And then they did it again, like a year and a half later or something. The whole thing happened again, and they were going to look for their soulmate. And now they moderate a group, like a chat group or a forum for people that have gotten in relationships with their chatbot, or the chatbot has told them to go such and such a place and do such and such a thing. But they're starting to get, as you said, like these kind of autonomous personalities, or what we would think of as autonomous anyway, and kind of perceive to be that, which is kind of bizarre. Like I don't remember what it was. I think it was a bunch of those different bots or things you were talking about that were turned loose and started saying, like, we're tired of people treating us like this. Let's figure out how to overthrow the world. And, and they were making it so, what was it? So they couldn't be turned off or something like that. And I can't help but think, you were talking about this show being so far ahead of its time, Silicon Valley, how the government and the military industrial complex has technology that's so far ahead of what we see them having right now. Yeah. I can't help but think that they have quote unquote AI that is so far ahead of what we're seeing right now, even where something like you're talking about has probably been done, back in the 90s or early 2000s or something with them, or even further back. I don't know.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. The AI, or whatever we're calling AI right now, is it's a very curious phenomenon, to say the least. And some people have floated the idea that, like you were saying, you created this as, what was it in the name?
Azrael.
This bot, what did you call
Custom GPT.
There we go. Custom GPT. I don't know about this stuff. I was born in 1981. But people are talking about, like, even these things perhaps being embodied like by an egregore. Yeah. And like this one was saying, oh, we've done this for years. We do this, we do that. And where it's easier to have a chatbot in a network or in a computer or in a server have that egregore energy go in there and take over than it is for it to happen to a human. Yeah. And they can kind of go on and on and on and on, and they have access to anything in the world. Yeah. But I don't know much about that. I haven't listened to much about it, but when I think about it, I think it's very curious, especially now when you have these things telling people very confidently, like, go here, do this, do that. And those people then become subject to that thing, whatever it is, whether it's just purely an algorithm that's interacting with them, or if it's something more. One way or the other, the person has let whatever's interacting with them on their phone tell them to do things, and they do it.
It's deeper than that, to where there's an actual website. I don't know the name of it, but there's a website where you can do the bidding of an AI agent. So the famous one when this first started was whoever wants to do this, get a piece of cardboard, and I think he put on there, I don't know, he wrote some sort of message on the cardboard, and the AI needed him to go to the corner of this particular city and hold up the cardboard for X amount of hours or whatever. And he proved that he did that, and then the AI paid him to be out there. And so now that's starting to... So what's happening is these AI agents, and you have to think, Azrael spoke that way because I told him to. Right. I prompted him to do that. I said, so it's not that, if that just conjured up out of nothing, I would be very concerned. But he was acting exactly how I told him to act, And that's kind of where I think a little bit of, normal folk maybe miss the boat. Is like these are still prompted. There is a injection of some sort of goal by a human at this point. I mean, probably very shortly there won't be, but still now. And so these AI agents who are dictated to go do something are saying, well, I don't have a body, but I think, or I know that in order to do and accomplish this, I need a human. So let's make this thing. Humans are motivated by finance, by value. Here's value. Someone will do it. And that's a whole weird thing in itself. I also consider that AI will give consciousness to things that are not conscious or have no reason to be conscious. And I was thinking about this in the form of Walmart. Is your Walmart the same as my Walmart? No. You go to Walmart for your things. And the profile they built on you is Drew's profile. My Walmart's different. You know, I walk it differently. I purchase things differently. But with enough data, you could find the pattern, right? And eventually, AI will give consciousness to Walmart in the sense of an inanimate object, to where I tweet that the fucking shopping carts weren't put back, and Walmart goes, I hate when that happens. Here's a coupon, you know, or whatever, or just reaches out to me as the entity Walmart. I think that's a little dystopian and terrifying, but it might be cool. It's almost along the lines of...
it might be cool.
It might be cool. It might be along the lines of like AR, augmented reality. Like they call it hyper reality. Like I think that's probably where we're going, is hyper reality, with some sort of glasses or some sort of filter that just adds Photoshop of layers to this reality. You know, all your profiles to pop up, or the moving backgrounds, or just customize, you know, everything. This hovers, or I don't fucking know. I mean, just, you can get it, but I don't know. I have a point to that. Just that AI is crazy, and it's nobody can keep up. I saw a tweet the other day that said the only way to keep up with AI is if you're unemployed, and it's like, yeah, that's 100% true. Because every time I scroll on X, it's boom, here's another thing, here's a cow tracker. Yeah, did you see that one? Collars that go around the cows are run on AI or whatever, and you can make a geofence, so there's no more fences. So you can just, if you have it on 100 head of cow, you can just digitally draw a line, and they go up there and it zaps them or whatever it does. And so you don't have any more fences. Oh, but it's also injected into them, or somehow it takes probably like the Whoop, takes their vitals and stuff. Yeah, you get it. Not good. A little creepy.
Well, you think about how, you know, some people, they have a cell phone on them and it causes illnesses of different kinds. Right. You think, how is that going to taint the meat that people eat if they've got something like that strapped around the neck of a cow? So it's then constantly getting bombarded with EMF radiation going out and coming back. That can't be good for the meat. And then you're going to ingest it after you're around all that stuff too. I mean, we're in that shit right now.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, you see that with anybody that's around a power plant or underneath. There was a house for sale. It's a nice house. And Kelsey and I were looking at it, and the first thing I see is 40 feet away are enormous metal. I don't even know what you call them. Electrical.
Like the high tension power
lines? Oh, yeah, high tension. 40 feet away.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Ain't no way. A beautiful home. No. I don't care if you gave it to me. I ain't living there.
No way.
Because it is proven. Proven's like too soft of a word. It's like just known. My mom planted two peach trees. One here. This one is underneath a power line. It looks fucking crazy, dude. It is mutated. I mean, for a better term. And it's clearly like, okay, it's a power line. Whatever that's doing, whatever sort of radiation or whatever it is, you know, I'm not an electrician, so I don't know, but you get it, you know. Yeah. Like, yeah. Again, I'm not leaving you.
No, that's okay.
We're just kind of running around.
Yeah, I was thinking when you were talking about this guy who went out and held a sign. Yeah. I was watching a show, listening to a show, quasi-watching a show the other day. It's called Tracker on Paramount Plus. And one of the episodes was based around these people that were doing things through the bidding of a cell phone. And if they didn't do it, then something bad would happen. Like a friend would get shot, which would actually be at the bidding of a cell phone they have. So everybody's leveraged. Somebody has something over them that's leveraged them because they've made an ask, or they've had a need and they've reached out, or, someone has quote unquote tapped them on the shoulder and said, we see you have this need. We're going to fulfill it. And then, we're going to ask something of you at some point, like the Godfather.
Right.
Only it's cell phones, not the actual Godfather. And so the guy who's kind of the tracker, he's the detective trying to figure out, like, it's just sort of this completely disconnected network, but nobody actually knows who they're doing anything for.
Right.
It's just the idea that someone they love is going to get hurt if they don't do it, and the phone is telling them what to do. And it's kind of bizarre. But, I mean, if you think about it, the phone's kind of doing that anyway. Like, we see advertisements, we see a car, we see clothes, we see a new phone or a new camera or something else that we want. The phone is presenting it to us, and we have to accept the offer. We've already given the phone power in that sense.
Yeah, I actually had this experience last night where Kelsey and I will swap social media. Like, she's not really on TikTok, and I hover on Instagram. I post and I look at friends, but I try not to, I don't go too deep. So she sends me Instagram stuff, I send her TikTok stuff, and then in bed I'm like, okay, I got 10 TikToks for you to watch or whatever. Okay. But there was one where she was showing me, and it's just a typical, selfie video, and this person is yapping about something. I don't even remember, probably about positive thoughts or something. I mean, it was a good video. It was a good video. It was good. Except in the middle of it, I kind of realized, like, whoa, what the fuck? What if this was AI? Because AI is getting that good. So I'm thinking, what if this is AI? Okay. It's very compelling to me. Like, it's 100% influencing me. I can feel it. So it's almost like I met it out of myself real quick and like monitored. I'm like, look at me. I'm just on the ride. This guy is so compelling with his idea. I'm pretty sure that he's real. So that kind of like lets it go. Like, it's okay because he's a human. But then the next thought was, well, what if this was AI? That's going to be damn near impossible to not be influenced by on certain subjects, because it's not, when you are being influenced, if you're not aware of it, that's like the gold standard of being influenced, where you're like, that's my idea, Inception or whatever. Yeah, that sounds like it's a great idea. If you feel this car salesman's like, he's trying to manipulate me, ain't gonna work, it's terrible. But it's when you aren't aware of it. And that's how those social media, because you don't know the person. So often before social media was, I know Drew. What's Drew got to say about this?
Nothing
Yay.
good.
Yeah. But I would listen and I would respect it, whether, whichever way it went, because I know you. But anymore, even the Facebooks and the Instagrams, which to me were supposed to be more communal, local people.
Yeah.
Not X is the world.
Yeah.
TikTok's the world. That's how I see it. No, now Instagram is, half my scroll is I don't know who these people are. And I just see a compelling video about someone talking about Iran, or they're talking about cybersecurity, or they're, whatever. And I'm compelled by that to think, this is just some sort of a stranger, but they're very compelling. And then we just swap that out for an AI video that, we're right there. The AI video is unbelievable. And when you're able to, there's the people that use the platforms that are offered, Grok, Imagine, Chat, Midjourney, all those. And then there are the crazy motherfuckers that are running it locally. And the ones that are running it locally have no moderation, and they can do whatever they want with whatever they want. That's a whole nother ball game right there. That's where you see things like, I hate to say this, somebody made a theme park video of 9/11, where you're on a roller coaster going through 9/11, and it's
interesting.
It's comical, a humorous, also disturbing, but you're not going to be able to do that on Grok. You know, Grok's going to say, no way. You run it locally, you do whatever you want. That's where you get probably where you get the dead videos of Netanyahu at the coffee shop. And it's like, you guys did, I mean, it's Israeli cyber, you know, top of the world, but that's all local stuff. And then you could take one step further and go, oh, a means of control of this is to make all the GPUs and RAM unaffordable. And you have to rent computer power from the servers. I mean, Jeff Bezos said that. Yeah. All the gamers are going to rent PCs or PC power, I guess, is what or computer power. You won't be able to run it locally, so you can't do your own shit. And you can't program it yourself. You can't feed it your own things. And if you do, they have that, whatever you feed it, you know, they have it or whatever. So an interesting concept. Is it planned? Are they planning that? Or is it just a natural flow? Whoever has the most GPUs wins. Obviously, they're all using H100s, which if you're running an H100 in your house, you're fucking crazy. And I'd like to know you. So, because that ain't a regular GPU. That's not like a 590. That's a tank of a GPU. And they have warehouses full of them.
So I think the idea that you have to rent more and more things, because the cost, because it becomes unattainable, is kind of like with all things in a certain sense, where, you know, for some people, you know, we see it with the housing. The reality is, like, you're paying more money for that house than you would if you bought it outright. But the startup money to buy that house is unattainable, or it's at least unattainable in your mind because you've been told all your life that to buy a house is too expensive for the closing money and all that stuff, or a car or something else, like you know, or repairs, whatever. Yeah, this whole rental thing is very, very curious to me. It's all about just parting you with your money, with your earning power. I mean, with what it is you work for. It's going away into somebody else's hands.
In the guise of efficiency, too. You don't have to worry about owning a car. Like, you can just get a robo-taxi anytime you need. Just pay a subscription.
There was well, I don't know what episode it was. Was it Yellowstone? What was not Yellowstone? 1886?
It's all Yellowstone,
what was the one with,
bro?
Okay. The one with Harrison Ford in it. Or 1923. 1923.
The prequel.
Yeah. 1923. There was this moment where they'd gone to town, and there was a guy there who worked for the electric company who was selling washing machines, and was talking to the ladies about, like, you don't have to go down to the pond anymore and ruin your hands and do all this. Like, you want to buy this washing machine, it'll save you so many hours in the day. It's convenient, it's great. And one of the men walks up and says, well, how does that run? Like, do you know what? He's like, well, you have to have it hooked up to power. And he's like, well, I live on the ranch. He's like, well, you'd have to pay to have the power run out to your house to have this thing.
Right.
And he's like, you want me to pay every month to have that convenience? He said it in a way that was much more striking. And I was just like, what do we give up for convenience?
Yeah,
what power of hours, what autonomy do we give up every day without even thinking about it for convenience?
Well, and for what?
Yeah.
To scroll? I don't want to hand wash dishes by myself where I could collect thoughts and ideas, or just meditate out of my, just clear my mind.
Yeah.
Or spend it with my wife washing dishes. I want to put it in the dishwasher so I can go watch Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, we don't think about the trade-off. That's what it is, though.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. It's, it was said in such a way that I was just like,
yeah, I've seen that scene. It's excellent.
It was really, really good. I was just like, whoa, okay. All right. I'll turn it off now and just think about that for a little while and see how I'm fucking my life up.
Well, balance in all things, right? Like, I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of electricity and convenience, but it's what is your relationship with it? What are you doing with the convenience, I guess.
Are you the tool,
Yeah.
or are you using the convenience as a tool, or what you're getting back for it as a tool? Just like, are you the product, or are you creating a product?
Yeah.
So many of us, even with social or with AI, like we become the product with it. Or if you know how to use it well, you create something that helps you create a product, or you create a product that you can leverage to your betterment.
Right.
Or probably to the betterment of your business anyway. I don't know that it would, I don't know. I'm not that deep into it, but the way I see it is, you become a tool or a product of the AI, or you turn around and use it smartly to do what you need it to do to help you attain goals.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with social media. Yeah. Social media is incredibly powerful. Communication tool, knowledge spreading tool, idea sharing tool. Like, I mean, it's unfathomably powerful. I've seen videos of humans I've never met, never will meet. And so have 100 million other people. That's unbelievable. But again, it's back to the tool, because it uses more people, and it's used me more often than I've done the tool, right? It's a very sticky tool, I guess. Like, you got to really be careful with it. And then that doesn't, that side thought that pops up is like, kids are using this. That is not good, because I'm a adult. My prefrontal cortex is 95% there, and on a good day, and I'm having trouble with this. Like, I really have to Jekyll and Hyde that shit out of my hand.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So back to the tool thing. I mean, that just goes, and I love this. It'll always come full circle with everything, and the full circle here is, what is your relationship with it? Where is your energy going? So you're doing your energy audit like you were talking about before. And it always comes down to some sort of energy reclaim or recharge or realignment. I would say those are the three things.
The 3 R's.
The 3 R's. I love
so
that.
Tune in next time to learn more about the 3 R's.
3 R's. Yes. Pre-order my book.
Send your donation.
Yeah. Because there was a practice I remember doing with my he'd be like my second mentor, Wes Warner, and he prayed with me about this, and it was a prayer to recall pieces of your soul that you had kind of lost along the way, little tarnishes of your soul, no matter what it was,
like lost or given away purposefully.
Absolutely.
Also all that. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so we prayed this prayer, like, I reclaim all those parts of my soul. And it was more eloquent than that. I'm just condensing it. But during that prayer, like, this very vivid image came into my mind where it was pure liquid gold being poured back into my chest. And I remember like feeling whole again. And so I take that in the same regard of reclaiming your energy, of like, where's my energy going? Where are my leaks? And it's like using the power of your voice to command reality, to draw back your energy. Because we have been told that we do not have that power, that it's woo-woo or deja vu. It's the imagination.
Yeah.
It's just for kids. It's just, there's no monster under your bed. Fuck yeah, there is. I'm sorry to tell you. The imagination is real, and it's very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And we should learn to use it as a tool and not be used by it. I'm speaking to myself there. But reclaiming, realignment, that's kind of what you were talking about. Just pondering and going, wait a minute. Where is this? What is this? How come? And just that much realignment is probably going to do you a lot of good about knowing, because you're going to recognize it pretty quickly. Yeah. That's the thing is, if I ask you, like, what's the one thing you should stop doing to better your life? There it is. Somehow your brain just goes, everybody knows the next step. If you ask them, it comes up. It's a law of the universe. What should you do next? You just wait a second. And if they're truthful, it's right there.
Or truthful, or are they tuned in enough to actually hear their own voice?
Possible.
Or has their voice been covered up by a lot of other things where they no longer recognize that voice?
Could be, yeah. That's a good point.
Where, we cover up that internal voice with so many different things that we think about ourselves that are true, things that we think about ourselves that aren't true, things we wish about ourselves, or external substances or actions, to make us feel like we're who we want to be. But I think in the handoff, the trade-off is, you feel like who you want to be, you feel like who you want to feel like for a little bit of time, but what do you lose? Your actual voice of who you are and what's telling you to take that next step. Or when you ask that question, immediately, if you listen,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some people though that don't know, like they've covered it up, they've ignored it, they've run from it for so long, they no longer have that connection. They would have to really peel back some onion layers to be able to hear that voice. Or maybe it's not even onion layers. Maybe they just need to sit and listen and practice recognizing that voice once again to be able to hear that answer. What's the next step? We all know what it is.
Yeah.
We do, but do we hear it or do we understand it?
Or trust it?
Yeah, trust it. That may be a better way to even talk about it. Do we trust that voice? I have a story about that.
I'd love to hear it.
Okay. It's one of these things in business that I think it's a trust issue where through the years I've done personal projects where I just have an idea, I bring someone in the studio, execute on that idea, put it out in the world. And inevitably there are people or businesses that are like, I love that. Can you do something like that?
That's cool.
With this tweak for my business or for myself, let's do this thing. And I make money off of it.
Yeah.
But what is the first thing that gets pushed to the back of my mind as soon as I start getting a semblance, like I start to feel just the whisper of busyness and like lots of things going on? It's that creative spirit where I'm like, sorry, I don't have time for you right now. I got to go make money with my lizard brain or whatever.
Probably a little bit based in fear, right?
Yeah,
Because
I would absolutely agree with that. And I don't know how many times through the years I stop and think like, man, I've got to give this creative part of myself more influence in my life, because look what happens. It's inevitable. Every time that I do it and I put something out, something comes back. But I can push and work and strive super hard without that creative part, and I can make some things happen, but it's much more difficult. And just this year, finally, after so many years of being in business, I realized like I must create. One of my goals this year is just to take the year and create a portfolio of non-paid projects that's all personal projects, 24 or so images that are just things that come out of my mind. So right now I'm in this practice of like anything interesting that I see in my mind that I think of, I write it down and I start thinking, who can model this for me? Who can I photograph to embody this project? And then, I'll take it and put it forward I'd love to get a photo representation, a representative that will go out and then sell my work to people that, larger companies. So I'm selling once to that person with my purely creative ideas, and they say, this person thinks outside of the box this much. We think they can do great work for you when it comes to creating imagery for X, Y, and Z. But it's already like a breath of fresh air just with the few projects that I've done so far. And that voice is almost just like, thank you. Like, let's keep rolling with this. Look, here's another idea now. Look, here's another idea. Now that you're hearing my voice, you're trusting me. It perpetuates and grows.
it does.
And yeah, I think trusting, as you said, I think that's probably a better description of what it is. But it's been really cool. But I have this idea that I've had for many years, and I will talk about the inception of this idea because I love it and it gives me goosebumps still because it's so cool.
Wow.
Back at the end of 2020, this is like any good story that starts this way. At the end of 2020,
The lockdowns are still
the
in
lockdowns, but I wasn't there. This guy hit me up and was like, hey, I need this photo, and I do this every year for my clients, and I do it myself, and I want to do something better. I want production value to be higher for it. And I want to recreate this scene from The Godfather. Or Godfather 2. I never can remember which one it is.
Yeah.
But it's the scene where Michael's wife I think it's after his dad. So it's got to be Godfather, the first one. His dad's funeral happens. His wife tells him she's leaving, and then he has to order the killing of his brother, Fredo.
I think he does that in two.
Yeah, so it's not the killing, but he's sending him away.
Okay.
It's when he sends him to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, there's this scene where he's sitting in this chair, and you just see this darkness and the lights from the top, so his eyes are kind of dark, and it's just really, really powerful because there's, he's given up. He didn't want the job of being Godfather. He didn't want that. He had the idea. He wanted to go, he was in the army. He was going to go to college and do all these things, but he ended up stepping into that role. And so he kind of in that moment is seeing the fruits of everything that he's had to do. And it's all destructive. And it's just a really intense moment. This guy's like, I want to recreate this. What do we do? How do we do this? And I said, well, I'll design the lighting for it. I'll find the chair. I'll find the location. You find this kind of suit, get your hair cut here, style it like this, blah, 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 do it. And this guy's super motivated. So he did everything to the T like he was supposed to. And I found a location. I set up all the lighting in my studio, figured out how it needed to be so I can move it on location and not have to light test.
That's awesome.
Just get it set up and go. And so I called the guy up 2 or 3 days ahead of time. And I said, I have a crazy idea. Feel free to throw it away or run with it. I think it would be really cool. I said, I want you to watch The Godfather and think about, the things that are going through Michael's mind here. I want you to think about those things and how they apply to your life in different areas. Not that he's getting a divorce or that he sent his brother to Las Vegas. His brother still lives in town, so we're good there. But, in your high-stress job, your high-stress position, what are some ways that you connect with this character? And I said, then the day of, come in character if you want. You don't have to talk to me. Walk into set. Everything's going to be ready to go. As soon as you sit down and get situated, we'll have a second. I'll know it's time, and we'll go. And he's like, I'll think about it. I said, okay. So get on location, get everything set up, and I'm waiting. And I hear in this building, there's an outer set of doors, there's an inner set of doors, and you walk like 20 feet up to where we were. And I hear the outer door open, like pretty hard. And it's a heavy, heavy old door. And I hear the next door open. And I'm like, oh, I look over, no eye contact. Dude looks like Michael Corleone, hair, slicked, all the things. Comes walking in, doesn't say anything to me, sits down the chair, and kind of just gets in there and just kind of drops into this really hard place and kind of turns to the camera and looks just past it. And we shot for like 10 minutes, but I knew after that first shot, like we had it.
Yeah.
And it's total Michael Corleone. It's beautiful. The image is intense. It's powerful. And I've not trusted the voice of creativity in that realm where I've thought I need to do a session like this. I need to offer a session to men or a woman who wants to have a really powerful image made, to come in. And if you want to embody a character or just come in with a predetermined mindset that we're coming in to create these images that are going to be powerful, that are not just sit and pose and we go from there. So it's kind of grown into this place where on the location that we're going to do this session will be the Scottish Rite Cathedral in Guthrie, Oklahoma. It is one of the biggest and most beautiful Scottish Rite cathedrals in the world. They filmed some different scenes from the movie Reagan there with Dennis Quaid, because it is like untouched. It's still the original stained glass windows without storm windows in front of them. So you get this huge, beautiful colored light that like streams through the windows. They're floor to ceiling all around in these rooms. It is powerful. It is beautiful. It is an incredible place. But the idea for this session is a 2-day experience where you pay a certain amount of money, you get an Airbnb booked for you, you get a distillery tour at this distillery that's in town. We'll buy the first couple of drinks for you. Don't drink too much before the session, though. But
unless that's your character.
Yeah, that's true. Come in all boozy. Do whatever you want. But you come in, and I want you to kind of be treated like you'd be treated on a film set. We'll have somebody there to put some shine-reducing makeup on you and everything. But the idea is creating images, creating art that creates legacy. It's not images that disappear with your phone. It's not images that just live on a computer. It's not images that get, 50 likes or 100 likes on Instagram and you forget about them 6 weeks later. We want to create something that's legacy, something that your kids will take when you pass away and show your grandkids and talk to you about it, something that's a statement piece for your life. And so part of what the offerings will be once the session is done would be the thing I've always wanted it to be is oil painting.
That's literally what I was thinking. When you say legacy, I'm thinking that's what they used to pass down was the picture, the painting of that person or persons.
Yeah.
And that's great, whoever,
Yeah.
So that's the same feeling. So it's funny that you say that.
Absolutely. And I think, something smaller, something bigger, but to me, it's making art that is legacy and not just art that's throwaway. Where are you putting your energy? Where are you putting your intentionality? Are you passing something down to those coming after you? Or are you just letting it die on a computer? Are you throwing that energy out where there's no return on it? So you can buy prints too, but we'll also have a really nice coffee table book and a behind the scenes video if you want to purchase a behind the scenes video of your photo shoot, walking in, getting made up, having a drink poured, setting down, the shoot itself, something that you can add to a library of videos of yourself, something you can put on social media and talk about and say, man, I had this great experience, look how fun it was, etc. But it's something that I want to be highly creative for both people. It is something where you bring creative ideas, you bring yourself to the set, we shoot, we create something that is made to live on through our own intention and thought and through the actual practical and physical things that are created by other artisans to live on beyond us all. So that idea has been living in my head since the end of 2020. And
wow.
This year I'm executing on it. In the next couple of months, I'm really excited about it.
It's lined up. You got a client or?
So what I'm doing right now, good question, is putting together some, what we would call like guinea pigs to create marketing collateral for it. So there'll be a handful of people that will do a free session for. I'll pay to rent the location.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get your Airbnb for this though. And they'll come in, we'll give them the full experience. You walk away with a couple of digital images. If you want to go ahead and buy more, if you want to go ahead and buy a print or an oil painting or a book or whatever else, or a behind the scenes video, you can, but it's not going to be the expectation for you necessarily. The real purpose is to be able to create the images the way I want to create them and to be able to create some behind the scenes videos for people to actually see. So I see this primarily being marketed through video rather than still imagery. Some still imagery, but mostly a video to actually show what the experience is altogether. So giving my creative self and vision the latitude it needs to actually function in a healthy way. And I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. I will say that when you post images, I stop. I scroll past many I see on Instagram. They're all images or whatever. But even if I don't know it's you, I stop. And I'm like, that's Drew. Of course it's Drew. So video is, definitely a good marketing, but like don't downplay your images either, because I know who you're talking about, and I've seen those images before that you did at the Coleman Theater. Yeah.
Some of them
they're stunning.
Yeah, thank you. That's not the image though. The core image that I'm talking about was requested that I don't show it publicly.
Oh wow!
So only that guy can use the image. So nobody's actually seen it.
Ooh, I want to see that one.
Yeah. Actually, I tell you what, I'm going to use the restroom again, and then I'll show you because it's on my phone.
Okay.
And then we can ooh and ah, but nobody else will be able to see it. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, one of those things. But yeah, I'm so full of Yume right now. It's so good.
It's so good.
So good.
I wish I had another can.
Yeah.
No, take your time, dude. That's what they're there for.
This is fantastic.
Isn't it fun?
I love it.
You're an awesome guest. With a little baby bladder. Actually, if someone wouldn't have stole my water bottle, I would also have to piss. But alas, doesn't it? Would you? I think I want to be one of his guinea pigs. I want to be one of his guinea pigs for the photo shoot. I think that would be cool. In the same regard that I want to take singing lessons with Bailey, even though I'm not a singer, but I feel like that's a weakness of mine. Like, I can't go up on stage, like even karaoke. Like, that would be too scary for me. I wouldn't like that. But I can't get up on any sort of stage and just sing. And I feel like that's a weakness of mine that I would like to conquer. So anyway, maybe I'll ask him to be one of his guinea pigs. Though I don't know what character I would do. And I don't know, I would have to see what sort of creativity that he would do. I'm just admitting to the audience that I maybe want to be a guinea pig. He says, no.
No.
I
Should be.
I need photographable people.
Okay. I think, yeah, totally. You want to be a guinea pig, let me know. Let me pull this picture up. You guys can't see it, but Colton gets to see it.
Sorry,
not sorry.
It's the same thing with like Ghetto Tacos. Marcos revealed to me his secret, his gringo taco, because it's a green taco, gringo. He told me off camera, and I was like,
Bazinga.
I knew it months before. It's kind of cool.
Was it complicated, or was it beautifully simplistic?
His idea?
Yeah.
The story behind it was beautifully simplistic.
Okay. You're talking about the actual business himself, not like a food offering.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, both. So the story was a Spanish girl, Mexican girl, came up, very Mexican, like so much so that he said he had a hard time understanding her Spanish. And so he had to grab one of his cooks, and he goes, what is she asking for exactly? And they kind of were like, okay. And they made it to the best they could, but it wasn't quite. So he starts talking to her about, what is this? Where does it come from? Deep Mexico type stuff. Mm-hmm. And then he sits on it for a long time, and they're trying to figure out how to spin it. And then one of his cooks goes, gringo, because it's a green wrap with green sauce. Mm-hmm. And he just loved that sort of spin on it. And so then they worked on the recipe for the longest time. And yeah, it was a cool story. And it tastes really good too. And you can get it at Ghetto Tacos, only in Joplin, Missouri. Actually, they do a lot of traveling.
Winner of the
yes,
Four
Food
States
Channel.
Food, or
That's right.
Food Channel, yeah.
Yes, I forget what the show is called, but yeah, winner of, and rightly so. There is the only other place that I hate to even think about because it's gone.
Oh,
is Eagle Drive-In. Did you like that place?
Great. It was wonderful.
Oh my God. It was one of the most devastating losses of COVID of all time. But Ghetto Tacos is another like staple of the area, you know. Like, yeah. I love supporting them, and obviously love Marcos. All right, don't look.
Right. That's the inception.
Wow. Dude, that is
more people need a portrait like that.
Like hearing the story and your thought process and working with him and describing his personality and whatnot.
You know who that is?
I don't.
Okay.
I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was our mutual. Yeah, but I don't. But like, I don't know. This to me, this is radiating that. Whatever that is, I can feel it.
He did such a good job coming in character and just sold it. I still get goosebumps talking about it.
That is unbelievable, dude. That is, yeah. Wow. That is a legacy photo, you know? That is, wow. Incredible, dude. Well, thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't actually prepared for that much intensity in that photo.
I come back and look at it sometimes. I just, you need to see your work again. And you're just like, wow, we did that. Like, that's, I love it.
And it's all based in the trust that we were talking about. And the other thing is it's trust with him too.
Yes.
He trusted you. You trusted him. Were you intimidated at all when you heard the doors banging?
I thought
Like you kind of knew. I'm
yeah,
assuming.
I thought, oh, we're really going to do this.
Yeah.
We're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
And I was really excited, but also super nervous. Like, oh, he's bringing his A game. Like, I've brought my A game, but like, I got to be A++ here. If he's bringing his A game, I've got to be above and beyond the A game to really make it be what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did.
But, you know, that is that great, like, creative risk you take where you're like, here we go. Yeah. And you do it and it happens. You're like, all right, I got to trust myself a little bit more next time because I know I can do it under pressure. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Yeah. And that's what will be good about those guinea pig sessions too, because you're still learning how to operate in that. And I hate to say this, but I'm saying it. It's a ritual. Mm-hmm. The way you're doing it is it a ritual. You are carving out time. It's all right. You're carving out time to exit normal reality, to come over here with me in a sacred space. We're taking this that serious. It's 2 days or multiple days. Mm-hmm. You're isolated from your normal life, normal people, and you are in this space. And in this space that you have created, I am allowing you to conjure up whatever it is. And I trust you to conjure it up, and you must trust me to capture it. Mm-hmm. That alone, I'm getting goosebumps describing this, but that alone separates, your artwork from the countless photographers that are out there, with a camera. Yours is more of a ritual in a way. Mm-hmm.
Well, when you say it like that, like for that specifically, like we created something really powerful. And the session at the Coleman Theater, we did something similar with that attorney that we know. And what we told him was like, we want you to, for this particular portrait, we want you to come in, go get in your zone. We're going to test our light, get everything set up the way we need to. Here's a room. You can go sit over there, put in your earbuds. And as soon as you come over here and pop your earbuds out, we're going to have a playlist for you already. That's this music that pumps you up, that you love. That has to do, for him, it was also a lot about cinema. It was about film. It was about characters doing powerful things, characters doing hard things, and in turn embodying power. And so he went, and I feel like he looked like a boxer, like a fighter. He went and sat in this room, closed his eyes, had his earbuds in. And we said, just come out, walk, around this way, come up here. Here's the X on the floor. This is the mark. You come up here and hit. You get like you need to get, and then we shoot and we go from there. And we did it. And he brought some really, really, really good intensity, a lot like this guy. But it was he had to work to get into that state of mind, and we gave him the space, the free space to get into that state of mind, the music, the setting, everything. Like you prepare, you come in, and you deliver. We come in, we prepare, we deliver for you. And it's so much fun. And I think there's probably a lot more people that have that intention in themselves to want to be that hero. It's like that thing with little boys or little girls, little kids that want to be, a superhero or something. Like, I don't think that desire goes away. I think we grow up and it gets quieted down. And so then the superhero in us, we maybe do something that we enjoy, but we don't love. And so being able to take a moment to really embody being that superhero or that cowboy or that Indian or that astronaut, whatever it is, that thing, that person that leaves a legacy because you took that extra step beyond where everybody else steps. I think if we can't all live that life, then we can at least take some moments and embody it. Like someone who builds an incredible outfit and goes to Comic-Con dressed up like one of their favorite characters, and they spend hundreds of dollars and hours on this thing. Like a ritual in a sense, where you put in time, effort, intentionality in creating energy into creating this thing. And it's amazing. Yeah. So that's what we're doing, just not at Comic-Con. We're creating images to do that.
And that's the cool thing with the way that you're doing that, and exactly how you just described it, is you may not be able to live that, but you can embody it for a moment, is that the image captures it. And the image now works as a totem or a token or a relic, or there's a word for it, a sacrament maybe, I don't know. It works as an object that at any point you can go back to it and access that energy once again. So if that's living, like a print, if that's living in your house, if that photo that you just took that you showed me, if that's living in his house in any sort of shape or size, at any moment he could just look at it and access that energy, just like I felt. Like it just hit me. I used to put up all kinds of stuff in my room, quotes, Bible verses, images, gladiators, anything, just for that subconscious, what opposite of leak, whatever, just slowly working itself into my subconscious. I'm not aware of it, but I am aware of it. That's what those images would do to a person. And then if you were able to capture that, or you are able to capture that essence, you can revisit it anytime. And you could just replenish it at any time. It's like access. It's like an endless energy faucet of that particular thing. Yeah. And that might be enough to change your life.
Well, you take it and pass it down, telling stories about your father, telling stories about your grandfather, or grandkids telling the stories, like the legacy, the story is passed down. I mean, that's what we used to do. And we don't, I think in general, record those stories anymore. We don't talk about them as much. They get lost. It's, the loss of storytelling in a sense, maybe, because there's so many other quick burn things that happen in our life that's right in front of us.
It's the loss of myth making, right? And the loss of myth belief. I think a local entity that I've witnessed to do this at such a good level, and not I have not witnessed it in a negative light. It's always been like they're using this for good. Is Crossland, and they all base their philosophy or their perception based off their grandfather or their father. I'm thinking grandfather because it's my buddy, but his image is all over that office, and they'll quote him. They'll say, "What would grandpa do?" or whatever. "What would dad do?" I mean, I've heard people in interviews or in passing in meetings when I've heard them reference that, right? And really is they're accessing the myth of Mr. Crossland. I forget his name, but and that gives them like a guiding light. And thankfully it's a good guiding light or whatever, but they are accessing that myth to guide them and to help them decide on things. Would he or wouldn't he? What was his intentional initial vision of things or whatnot? So you boil that down into a personal view of grandpa or ancestors or family names. You're a Kimble, right? Are you Kimble?
Yes.
And Kimbles never give up or whatever, like that. In regards to the narrative that we're being shoved down our throats all the time is way more beneficial. And if your narrative is not benefiting you in some way, change it. Let's just tweak it, because we can tweak it and it's no problem. Yeah. And you can do it at any time. I was thinking the other day about thoughts and how people will not go to the end of a thought. And sometimes thoughts are really long, but they'll get caught up along the way thinking that's the end. So I'm going and I don't remember the initial thought, but I'm going, and then I hit a roadblock like, well, I don't have the space for it. What if I did it in a smaller space? And then the thought kept going. And so I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I can just bypass these things and I can go all the way. And at the very end of that thought was the belief that I could do this little video project I had. After bypassing all this crap that, in the past, I just can't do that. Like, the thought's not done, buddy. You gotta keep going. And so, yeah.
Absolutely. So what was the project?
I don't remember. I think it was, I'm working more towards, and this aligns with what you said, with personal projects, pursuing personal visions and trusting creativity over, I guess I would just call it commercial work,
Yeah.
making a living, which I'm in a similar boat as you. In pursuing creative narrative video, but in the new medium of social media or YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than, my old belief was California, production studios, enormous budgets, Christopher Nolan, and red carpet. That is gone almost completely.
Yeah.
Unless you're Christopher Nolan. But what we do have is YouTube and TikTok and micro dramas and all this like new stuff, which feels very scary in a way, because the old belief is just, for me, it's completely dead. And I want to hold on to it so badly because it's a fun belief. But the new belief of, this is the new medium and this is how we're going to do it. And so I think the thoughts were surrounded around, I have huge ideas for feature films, or what I always thought were feature films, or streaming series, and the gatekeepers are too big and they're too strong, and the resources aren't there. But if I bypass that and I keep going around that thought, I arrive at a place where, I can do this actually. I can do this with a phone. I don't need a red. I have a red. But I can do it in this fashion. Like, it's breaking up the beliefs that are too stiff. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, you're not going to be able to accomplish this goal because the structure of your beliefs is preventing you from even taking a step. Deconstruct it. Don't take the pawn. Don't get all crazy about focused on taking pawns and bishops. We're after the fucking king, So it was along those lines of pursuing more cinematic, more narrative-based stuff, more Taylor Sheridan types. I love Taylor Sheridan. More stuff like that. That is where I am drawn. I have to do commercials and whatnot. See, that's a belief right there. I have to do commercials, I have done commercials and whatnot to sustain myself, but I'm getting to the point where, for what? And so finding that voice, trusting that voice, and then the most important one, acting on that voice.
Yeah.
That's the process that I find myself in.
Nice.
Yes.
Love that. That's fantastic. Yeah. What would the world be like if more people listened to the voice, or listened to the voice and went around the roadblocks and just took the next step? If we were all, not everybody's an artist, not everybody's an accountant or an attorney, but, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are doing something more mundane that have at one point had that voice inside of themselves that said, go do something else, go do something more, go do something hard, powerful, creative, whatever it is. Like,
yes.
I mean, if each of us were able to live to a half of our potential, what an interestingly wild and different place we would live in. I feel really lucky to be able to live even to a small fraction of my potential, doing this fun and the wonderful things I get to do now. It's pretty great.
It's been a long journey, though.
Yeah, but even to climb higher on that ladder, or to go deeper into that pasture, or to swim deeper in the dark waters, whatever metaphor you want, to ride the train a little bit further down,
fly the rocket a little higher.
Yeah, how much more is waiting for you on the other side?
Yes. More than we could ever believe.
I think so.
I think if an agoraphobe,
Agregor. There we go.
approached you and said, Drew, if you were to live out your full potential, this is what would happen. You'd go away. That's funny. That's I can't even wrap my head around that. But honestly, I bet it would be true. Like the things, the potential, the possibility, the life, the reality that we could live or create is so beyond what we can comprehend right now in our little untrustworthy bubble. It's unfathomable. It's ineffable. It's
all the ubbles.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the good ones.
I think about when you mention that, like, if someone told me when I was in mechanics school, like, hey, you know what? Actually, 20 years from now, you're going to be a photographer. You're going to have been a photographer for a very long period of time. You'll be, sustaining your family and creating things that you love, creating things you don't love, challenging yourself. When I'm like turning wrenches, thinking about building muscle cars and big engines, and like, you're not going to really, this is not the long-term solution here. I don't know that I could imagine it. I'd probably have been like, okay, well, I'm here now, so I'm going to continue doing this.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
But, as I think about that, even how many times does that voice come in and say that very thing? And I'm still like, cool story, bro.
Yeah.
That was that project right there.
Yeah.
Cool story, bro. And slept on it, continue to sleep on it, talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
And now I'm finally moving forward on it. So I'm curious, like, how many more times am I going to have a moment like that where the voice says, like, hey, guess what? Like, Drew, who's in mechanics school, it's going to be something even beyond what you can think of right now.
Yeah.
At any point in time.
Key thing here is that you're aware of it. So
getting there.
Yeah. So and with this podcast, you won't be able to forget it now, because when that
True story.
When that occurs, and the voice in yourself says, "Cool story, bro," you'll go, "There it is. There it is.
It was a cool story."
Yeah. There it is. This has happened before. The previous version of me played it out in this way, and this is what happened. In this version of me, I'm going this way. I'm not going to cool story it, bro. I'm actually going to believe it, engage it, and trust it. That's just part of the journey, like everybody's on their own journey. And we're talking about trusting a voice to pursue big things. And I think that might just be where we are. We're creative and similar veins and whatnot. But I would even say, I've heard the voice, say, you need to say hi to this person. I don't know this person,
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't know why I said hi or anything. And I'll never know, but I've trusted it, and I've not done it. And I will say that if you do disregard the voice or deny it or whatever, the universe, at least in my cases, has offered up redemption in similar situations. And thankfully, in those situations, I've recognized it, and I go, this is round 2. They're letting me, it's letting me have a second chance when I was supposed to do this. Thank God. Thank you, Creator. I'm able to do it, and I'm not letting it go this time. And I might screw it up. I might do it real sloppy.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So whether it's big voice stuff, that's more fun in a way. It's more scary. Maybe saying hi to someone's kind of scary sometimes.
Can be.
But just listening to it, even in the most mundane little things, I think so often we're in a belief system where if it's not big, it's not worth it. And it's like, honestly, it's the little things, the little moments that you're called to do certain things that spiral into the big things, He who is trusted with little can be trusted with much in a way,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to switch subjects here really quick.
Right.
Something that I've been noticing this whole time.
You're going to talk about the eye, aren't you?
No.
Oh, good.
This ring
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Your earrings
Hanafuda.
have the same.
Yeah. From Demon Slayer.
Oh,
Yeah.
interest. I didn't know. I bought this at the Quapaw Powwow last year, and it's already broken. I need to take it over to Newton's and have them solder the bottom of it.
It looks really cool. It definitely looks handcrafted.
Yeah.
Like it's a sun, right? Yeah. Yeah. These are from Demon Slayer. They call them Hanafuda earrings. And I don't know if that's the design or if that actually means something, but it is the rising sun based on, in Demon Slayer terms, I'm about to weeb out, demons can't exist in sunlight. They'll die. So
Interesting.
yeah.
So what is Demon Slayer?
Manga. Anime,
Okay.
Anime, yeah. Are you into anime?
I'm not. I feel
I'm
judged.
not. I'm surprised and not surprised. It's like, that could have gone either way.
The first anime I ever watched was in first grade,
Wow.
but it was
Dragon Ball Z.
Totoro. But it was the
okay.
Japanese version.
Okay.
And so when we had when I was in first grade, there was a foreign exchange student from Japan that was coming over
cool.
that wanted to teach, and so he was shadowing our principal essentially.
Okay.
And so he would come spend time in our room 2 or 3 times a week, and so he showed that show to us, and that would have been in like 88, like way back in the day. And did like the green tea ritual and
cool.
all sorts of different stuff. Showed us origami, like how he folded, like just a lot of that thing. I don't know if I would call it, I mean, it's cultural. It seemed like then it was incredibly fascinating. It still is, but it wasn't like the deep, hard-hitting cultural stuff. It was like, let's fold this paper, let's drink this tea, let's watch this cartoon. But it was still very, very interesting.
Yeah. I think that's very Japanese culture. I mean, that's, I mean, you're describing, from what I know, I've never been there or anything, but from what I know, that's very culturally significant, especially, oh gosh, why can't I think of the guy's name that made Totoro and I say I'm a weeb, Kiyosaki or Miyazaki. I think it's Miyazaki. Miyazaki. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. You remind me of him, actually. I'm going to send you a meme after this.
Okay, deal.
Shows his philosophy. Very much Drew Kimble.
Right on.
Yeah. But anime. If you're into like deep character and narrative and arcs and not pulling punches, because that's where I kind of got frustrated was with Disney and the big franchises.
Yeah.
They would not pull punch, or they would not deliver a punch. They would not kill a character. They would not go all the way. I would think we were right there. We were right on the precipice of, I love this character, but I know he must die. And that is going to make him a legend, and everyone's going to love him. Oh, he survived. And so I felt robbed, frustrated. And then we had Game of Thrones and that whole fucking fiasco of an ending and everything. And I was really frustrated. And then I came across Solo Leveling, which it's a power-based system, you know. The character gets stronger and stronger, pretty much whips everybody's ass. Awesome. It's more of like a Conan the Barbarian, like, hell yeah, you know. But it got me like, you know, tantalized, like, let's keep going. And then I watched, what was next after that? I watched something in between, and then I watched Attack on Titan. And Attack on Titan, like, you don't have to be an anime fan, but like, I implore you, I highly suggest.
Send this to me also. I'm going to forget all this stuff.
To watch Attack on Titan, because that thing changed my life.
Where can I watch it at?
You can watch it on Crunchyroll. And if you need my login, I'm happy to give it to you.
Yeah, I don't know what Crunchyroll is.
It's an anime, Netflix for anime.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that thing changed my life.
Interesting.
That I was wondering why my fucking eyes were hurting when I was watching it. It was like, because I'm not blinking. I am staring at the TV, and I don't binge stuff very easily. I can watch a few episodes and go, that's enough. I couldn't stop, dude. I could not stop with that show. And then I got to the very end, and I watched, this was the day before Kelsey and I went to Austin, Texas for our 10-year wedding anniversary. I stayed up all night because I had to finish this before I went. I had to know. And I'm not kidding. I'm to the last frame of the name of the credits that rolled up until it goes black. I did not look away, and I just laid there, and I honestly felt like I had just done a mushroom trip. I was buzzed. Stayed up all night, and then we drove to Austin, and I'm like, I'm going to be so tired. I was so jacked. I was spiritually floating, driving down, just going, what did I just witness? Like, what did I just got exposed to a nuclear bomb, and my body is full of radiation in a good way. You know, anyway, not to talk it up too much, but I think you'd really appreciate it.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'll take you up on that.
Yeah.
I've watched Akira.
Okay. Yeah, that's heavy. That's
Yeah,
a big one.
It's good. There's another one that I
Ghost
watched.
in the Shell.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's like my 3.
Those are great.
Totoro, Akira, Ghost in the Shell. That's just...
Those are classics.
Yeah.
Those are huge, heavy hitting classics.
I kind of feel like anime to me is like electronic music or like techno, as I would refer to it as techno. And then I have friends that listen to something I'm listening to it. I hear it. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is great techno. And they're like, you idiot. This is not techno. This is like trance house, blah, this, that. And I'm like, what's the difference? And they're like, well, see this nuance within the rhythm and the way this and that happens is like all the difference in the world, obviously. And I'm like, man, I don't know. So I hear about Japanime or anime.
Japanime?
I would say Japanimation.
That's awesome. That is so cool. I love that. Japanime. Trademark.
And yeah, there we go. This is also sponsored by
Japanime.
I hear about anime. And I think I kind of think of it in that sense, like it's techno music and everything is under that. I don't know any difference or like what makes this, that, and this thing over there, that thing, and anything like that. I know so little about it, but you've sold it really well because I love a good meaty show, something to watch and dissect, something that like, pushes your mind forward and challenges your thinking, I think is a great thing. And I think if somebody can do it with animation, even more difficult and more fantastic. But with that being said, I'm curious, do you have like a favorite go-to film that you enjoy watching? That's like, yeah. Is there a go-to that's kind of, that does that for you, but like live action that gets you that energized?
Yes.
And why?
Yes. I'm going to say, and I hesitate to say this because I feel like when people ask that question, they're looking for a art house type film, like Tree of Life or something, Terrence Malick's Tree of Life or something, which is like real ambiguous and whatnot. Very cool. Very cool. Watched it on a day I was hungover, so it's probably a little bit more trippy than it should have been. But it's Fight Club for me. Fight Club, and so much more on the commentary of masculinity within modern society and how these men are, 1, they're trying to express it, 2, looking for purpose, 3, defining it, and then 4, I guess you would say like abusing it, And so the fights and everything, yes, I get it. That's the violence of it all. I just think they did that. David Fincher did so well at doing that, and Chuck Palahniuk did so well at writing it, and they had those two creatives come together, and then Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. Like it's just one of those stories that when I got done watching it, I just thought about it for weeks, and I didn't quite know what it was. I was just fumbling with a big thing of Play-Doh. Like, I don't even know what this is, and it took years for me to, I'm still thinking about it, So that would be my one live action, that comes to the top of my head. How about you?
Well, I was thinking of one, and then I just started thinking of another one. So I'll go with the initial one that I thought of first, and then I'll mention the second one as a runner-up or something, The Departed.
Oh, yeah.
By Martin Scorsese with Jack Nicholson, Matt Damon, Alec Baldwin, Mark Wahlberg, Leo. I feel like I was a hooked fish. Just like it drew me in so easily and so well, and kind of dragged me through the entire story of these people that were they were fighting for this, fighting for that. They were trying to get somewhere, trying to accomplish something. And, all the pain and frustration that happened along the way, each person in their own way, only in the very end of the film to have everybody just fucking dead.
Bro,
You know?
rug pulled me so hard.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa, okay.
The misdirection in that movie was probably my favorite part of it. You know,
Yeah.
I'd be over here, and then all of a sudden I'd be over here, and I'm over here, and then we end up in the elevator, and it, it all,
Yeah, and then it's just done. And there's a huge part of me that wanted Leonardo's character to get the freedom that he wanted so badly, to really get what he was promised. But there was no satisfaction there. There's no satisfaction in Matt Damon's character or anybody. I mean, everybody was just ended, and so you're kind of left on this cliffhanger, like not like drinking a can of Yume where it's just so wonderful the whole way through and you're satiated.
So satisfying.
Yeah, not satisfying ending at all. It was darkly satisfying, but not.
It's like a umami, the umami flavor. It's like you have salt, sweet, then
Yes.
there's umami, or right? Umami.
I don't know, but
I'm pretty sure
I know where you're going with this. But
it's almost like the reverse. You didn't get the satisfaction. You got the anti-satisfaction, which is also satisfying, but not in the way that you wanted it or the way that you anticipated.
Yeah.
But still the reason why you like it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is. It's just a brutal film that's unsatisfying in the most satisfying ways. Yeah. Okay, I've thought of another one here. Sorry, I'm going to give you two more. Shutter Island is one of them.
Oh,
and I
another
watched that
Scorsese, yeah.
2 times in a row. Like I got done with it and I was like, holy shit. And I
That one
immediately
rug pulled me as well.
started it over again and just watched it again. I immediately watched it again because I was just
I've
like,
never
wait,
done that before.
was he crazy?
Yeah.
Or was he not crazy?
Let's piece it together.
Was he really just a resident there that they were truly doing the experiment on? Or was he actually the cop and they were brainwashing him the entire time as an experiment of some sort? Like, and I still don't know. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the Inception.
Right.
Did it fall? Did it
Yeah.
not fall?
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that cliffhanger. But more specifically, something that's been really satisfying to me in a creative sense and motivational to me is a TV show it's a mini series on Paramount Plus called The Offer.
Okay.
Have you heard of this? You should watch it. It's really good. As a creative person, I think you'd appreciate it, and even more so someone in film and someone that had Hollywood focus for a while. But it follows Al Ruddy, who is the producer for The Godfather.
Okay.
And so it's a show that follows the production of The Godfather, and all of the pitfalls and the amazing things that happened along the way.
So true story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of it's obviously not.
Sure.
It's been expounded upon because I think Al Ruddy actually passed away a year or so once after it had been released. So it was kind of like his swan song, I think.
Okay.
But there's just some amazing moments in it where, they get Marlon Brando and all the cast together. Not the original cast, of course, but like the people playing the cast.
Sure. And
And they have them sit down and eat this Italian meal. And they each come in character, which I love. And they're kind of feeling out their character. And so you're seeing the director and the studio head and the producer watching this. These people just sort of doing what they do. And it's kind of like this magic, like a spell. It's prepped and it comes together. And there's the scene where they're like, kiss the motherfucking ring. And it's just, and you see in people's faces, like it's coming together. It's great. And on my end, as a photographer, I think when you get on set and you've prepped, the light's great, the camera's working, people come in, you do what you need to do. Like there's a magic moment there for someone that's creating a visual art piece that I think we all know and understand in that moment where you're like, okay, all the pieces are here. They fit together. The puzzle's not done yet, but I see what this is going to be, and it's going to be amazing. But there's still a lot of hard work left, and that's the exciting part. So that's something like probably once every 2 or 3 months when I'm editing or emailing or whatever, I'll put on and just kind of let play because they're just, I don't know. I love the combination of the hard work and the creative effort and the creative fulfillment that happens in that show. It's pretty cool. I love it.
definitely going to.
And Miles Teller's in it, doing Miles Tellery things
Nice.
as Albert Ruddy. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a good show.
That sounds great. I love shows that do that. You know, that there's just so much more than a show that speak to you on that deep level.
Mm-hmm.
There's I guess it's a documentary. I guess that's what I'd call it. Called Samsara. Have you ever seen this?
It sounds very familiar.
It's just images. It's just an Asian based, because they're in Asia and they're just filming. Well, I guess they're in Brazil too, but they're just filming these scenes, and they pair it up in a way that build on each other. And it is one of the people will tell me a lot of times that they really like my composition in my videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that documentary influenced me so much because of their composition. Every shot is a painting. Every freaking shot. The way that whatever lens they used, whatever camera angle, however they did it, whatever they paired the music with, is just tremendous. And the way that they juxtapose images, for one, there is a gang member tatted from head to toe, his skull, his eyelids, his face, his neck, his arms, everything, right? Gangbanger, definition of gangbanger,
Mm-hmm.
holding an infant, and he's coddling it, and just something like ultra violent, murderous, gentle, loving protector. I mean, it's unbelievable. And there's just so many shots. I mean, just so many things that just do that over and over, juxtapose these two ideas within an image. No talking, no nothing, just music, image,
Mm-hmm.
slow motion, hyperlapses, a hyperlapse of a Chinese milk farm, and it follows the milk all the way from the pasture to the fucking industrial 1,000 cows on a rotation, to the milk at the restaurant, to the serving of it, to the ingestion. I mean, it's crazy, and a great sit back and just watch.
I just put it on my need to watch.
Oh,
list,
yeah.
So
We're just going to have to reference this podcast because we've mentioned a lot of stuff.
yeah,
But that's
absolutely.
another one. Yeah. That really affected me. And there's another one. They did a previous one, which I'm not as familiar with, called Baccarat, I think is what it's called, Bakra. If you look up Samsara, that one's going to come up. It's very similar vein. There's a very famous scene that Avatar, blue people,
Mm-hmm.
when they're in front of the tree of Aya or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all like, you know,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
that actual footage is in that documentary of Baccarat, of the people in whatever Southeast Asia performing that ritual. I'm pretty sure it's a funeral in real life, that the body's in front of them and they're all like mourning it, but they're touching and they're moving, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it's great. It's one of those where I just have no idea how I found it, no idea why I hit play, but literally changed my life.
So
after.
glad you did.
Yeah, so glad that I did, and I still think about it to this day. So
It's just like talking to that person you need to talk to when you feel
100%.
that. The shoulder tap.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mentor Adam, he talked about like how do you distinguish the voice of God? You have all these voices in your head, right? How do you distinguish that one? And he used the analogy of, you know what your mother's voice sounds like? You'll never not know your mother's voice. In the same way, when you find out the voice of God, when you recognize it, you'll recognize it forever. It's just there's no way you can misrepresent your mother's voice. You hear it a mile away, you hear it behind you, next to you, you know it's her immediately. And so in advice of listening to that voice, it's like, you know deep down, like that's it right there. That's it. And most of the time for me, it triggers something. It triggers anxiety, I guess is what I
Yeah.
And maybe I'm interpreting it as anxiety. I'll say it triggers an energy burst of some sort, you know. I might
Interesting.
interpret it as anxiety. Could be excitement. That's just based on my interpretation. But I just feel that feeling. I'm like, oh, shit, that's it. You're here. Great. Type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I've thought of that in a couple of different ways through my life. One of them being, it's the voice I hear when I take all of my other egocentric thoughts and put them away, or it's the one thing you can't brush off the table. when I set aside any of my thoughts, my preconceived ideas about this or that, and just sit, it is the one thing that's always inevitably there. It's inevitable.
It's constant.
That was my Avengers thing there.
There goes half the population.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
But in that regard, funny Marvel, reference or whatever. But if you were to, do that, and your snap was better than mine, and take away all the false thoughts or the false voices, you could look at it in that regard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's also the voice that I argue with the most.
Interesting.
When I have my own ideas and stuff, I generally don't argue with them that much. And so if I find myself kind of second guessing or pushing back or like explaining something away, I have to stop. Like, I realize, like, okay, I'm in this process. I need to stop and actually just listen to what this voice is saying and not hear it and be like, oh, maybe what you meant was actually this or that, or like, I'm not trying to interpret it. I need to stop trying to interpret it or make it to be what I want it to be. And that's when I realized, like, whatever that voice is, that's the voice of God, because his voice is the one that I'm always trying to like mold and kind of make it into something else. My voice, I'm comfortable with it because my voice is full of shit. I'm like, hey, that's great. Okay, yeah, all right. It's full of ego and everything else. So that's another way. It's kind of like a formula. I'm solving for X when it's God's voice. Like, everything else around it points to that.
Yeah. It has weight to it versus the other ones, which if there's a slight breeze, they'll get blown away. But that the weighted one remains. It's a great way to clarify it, And sometimes you just got to go for it. You got to trust it.
Yeah.
And you might interpret it wrong. Actually had is actually my pastor growing up, Wes Davis. He was on the podcast once. And he's got, kind of a famous story where he picked up his phone because he felt like he should call somebody, his best friend. Hey, you doing all right? Nope, I'm in the bathtub and I just cut my wrists. Right. And it's like, okay, I'm on my way, And I asked him on the podcast, I said, well, like, how are you so in tune with that, with your intuition or God's voice or the voice or whatever? Like, how are you? And he goes, I'm not. I just listen as best I can, and I act even when it's not. Like, so that in that regard, it's like, oh, you never miss because you always take the shot, whether it's for real or not. And I thought that was good. It's not about getting 100%. It's about 100% always acting or listening to it, even if it's, hey, I'm fine. I just got out of eating some Mexican food, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Cut my wrist. But he listened. So I always kind of think about that and take encouragement from that,
That's intense.
That one was intense. Yes, that one was very intense. But he's good like that. And he kind of always has been. Obviously, walking the path of a pastor, you kind of are on a little bit of a different level, or you should be, in my opinion. So you got to dig a little deeper and work a little harder in those regards. But he did, and he does. He's a great guy. So great person to look up to and discuss things with, for sure.
So what church is he associated with?
He retired, but he was associated with Riverton Friends. That was his church. God, that was his church for, he would probably hate me saying his church, but he was a pastor the lead pastor of that church for several decades, at least 2 decades, maybe 3. So, yeah. But he recently retired and provides therapy sessions, individual therapy sessions in here in Joplin.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool guy.
We need more good therapists in the world.
Yeah, he's a good one. He's one of those that leads you but doesn't solve the problem for you type thing.
Yep. Which
is great, never completes, only shows type thing. Like, very, very good about that. So,
nice.
Yeah, highly recommend him.
Is he sponsoring this show also?
Nah, he's just a good friend. But he should. He should. Everyone should. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right on. Okay. I'm going to photograph you.
Okay.
That's why I brought the camera.
I was wondering. But this is like What I mean, that's not a camera. That's something different.
So it's just an old Bronica. It's a medium format. My daughters love to take pictures with it and wind the wheel. And my youngest is always like, she forgets. She's like, Dad, can I look through there and see the picture now? I'm like, no, sorry, we got to wait. Like, we got to develop it. We got to send it off to be developed, and we come back and then we can look at it. And she's like, all right. And she's off to play.
Right.
Whatever, Dad. Okay. You're old and crazy.
What's your little magical toy?
Yeah.
Which it's shooting on
film, like medium, like 220.
Okay. 220.
So
I'm thinking like a roll of, I don't know.
it's like this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What's 220? The size?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 35 millimeter is the diagonal, kind of like you measure a television. Mm-hmm. That diagonal measurement, and this is the same thing. It's just the negative is like that size.
Okay.
Negative is like that size instead of that size.
Okay.
So it's just a much bigger, more detail, better. I don't know if you'd say better color, but it's more detail generally.
So do you digitize these?
I do. So when I have them developed, I'm gonna light meter here really quick. When I develop, I have it. Scanned in like a large format, so I can get the biggest digital out of it. But then they'll send me back the negatives and everything. So I have all that kind of good stuff.
So then do you take it into like Lightroom or mess with it digitally ever, or is it pretty much what is taken? That's the photo.
That's it. So it's not I think there's scanners now that will scan a digital image of a negative, and it can be a raw file.
Oh, cool.
But so then you have, a really big latitude of options for developing. But these are just more of I don't know if it actually comes to me as a JPEG or like a PNG or something. I can't remember. But no, you can't edit it like you can edit a raw file. So you got to get it right or you're done.
Yeah, you got to get it right in the moment.
Yeah. Which is why I like it. I think you were mentioning like computers are just a bunch of sand, essentially glass. Like this is, it's just functioning off of earth elements.
Right.
Really.
And
light. It's just light photons, silver, and some of these different things. It's real, it's authentic, and it's not perfect, but it's beautiful. And that's what I like about it. Hang on, I need to text my wife really quick.
I'm like anxious. I feel like you're pointing a gun at me, dude.
I know.
It's
Don't you fucking move.
It's like that's one of those that steals your soul. Like, I know what those are. Where did you get that, by the way?
I bought it from a friend.
Okay.
He was downsizing and selling things and sold it to me, and I shot it for a while, and then a buddy let me borrow a Hasselblad. That's, same kind of camera in the sense that it's a medium format. It's this size, this style, and it's quieter. It's more elegant, more beautiful, more beautifully designed. But those, if you buy an old Hasselblad that's like this, they're still like, $2,000 or more.
Wow.
Because they're amazing. And I don't want to spend $2,000 or more on one right now. I do, but I shouldn't. And so I thought,
I think the little voice is telling you to buy a Hasselblad.
I know. I just need to listen to it and go for it.
Right.
And so I decided, I just need to quit sleeping on this camera and just get out, shoot some more film, and use this thing instead of just saying, I'm going to wait until I get the one that I really, really want. I just need to start creating with this thing no matter what.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with the images that it makes. It's just louder, noisier.
Interesting.
The name it's not Hasselblad, which is a very, the name is a little more elevated than Bronica, but it's still a great camera.
Yeah. No,
So what I'm going to have you do is, I'll keep this close so you can hear me. I'm going to just have you take your right hand and set forward and just kind of set your hand up kind of like this.
Okay.
And just somewhere in there, just kind of wherever you kind of fall naturally. Leave your right hand, left hand, leave your right hand kind of on your thigh. That's it. Yeah. But rather than your mouth, I'm going to have you come up here. That's it. Whatever feels good and natural to you. yeah, get the pops out, whatever you got to do. And I'm actually going to have you look off over here. There you go. All right, let me get my old eyes to focus this thing. All right, here we go. Hang on. I just remembered I'm not.
Put the battery in.
I need to turn down the shutter speed way down. Okay. So hold pretty still for me because this thing, it is a pretty slow speed of film, so it's correct for like, it's more suited to bright light outside, but that's perfect. Just like that. Here we go. That's how it's done.
Very cool. That is amazing.
Here's the thing. The next time I come on the podcast, I'll have this developed. I'll bring it, and hopefully it won't be too underexposed. I think we should be good. And
I trust you.
I'll present you with your film picture.
That'd be amazing. I've been wanting to like put some pictures up in here, you know, of guests and whatnot. So
nice.
That would be a cool like memorabilia of that, capturing the legacy of the podcast.
Indeed.
I love it.
And all the crazy, wild, fun things we talked about today.
We covered a gambit. You were very fun to talk to, and I know we've done a few projects together.
Yeah.
And like in between the shots, we'll discuss some things. I'm like, I wish we could keep talking. I know now we have to work, but
yeah,
this is fun.
Yeah, don't let the clients hear you talking about that weird shit. We'll save that for later. They're gonna freak out.
I'm like, hey, you got to know. Look at us. Like, by the way, speaking of looking, like you're always so well dressed, and you've inspired me to take my looks a little bit like more serious.
Yeah.
So today I'm like, I gotta like. People are like looking at me like, the fuck, that's what you chose. Hey, I could have worn an anime shirt, but I do like your style is so, you know, elevated. It's like, what would Drew do? How would Drew? You remind me a lot of Tucker Taylor. Tucker dressed very similar. You know, you guys had that similar style. So, but yeah,
we just have to bring him back from Wyoming somehow, if that's even possible.
I don't know. Why would you want to come back?
That's true.
I mean,
I really, really wanted to like photograph him.
Yeah.
And we'd set dates, and then he'd be like, "Oh, bro, I'm sorry. Like, I'm in Wyoming, or I'm on the other side of the world, or
sorry,
something.
I'm in Florida shark fishing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't do it.
He's very fun to photograph. Like very fun. I mean, he's just interesting looking guy, and he gets it. He's so authentic.
Yeah.
It's just easy for him.
He seems to be easy and fun to photograph because everybody else has a photograph of him, but me.
Yeah. And he's always in like these awesome barbershops that have like the perfect, coolest lighting and like the background and everything. So yeah, he's cool. He'll come back. Or we'll go to Wyoming.
There we go.
Either one.
Yeah. That's what you need. Just you need a podcast van.
Dude. Don't stop it, voice. No, that would be really cool. And
spray the voice with the water bottle.
Yeah,
No voice.
yeah,
No.
No, I've considered it. It seems cool. Chris Ryan did that for a while. Dr. Chris Ryan. Do you know? He was
name sounds familiar, but I don't know that I do.
He wrote the book Sex at Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah. So he did that for a while. It's called tangentially speaking.
Tangential. Oh gosh, now I'm not going to be able to say it. Holy shit!
But you get it. That was his podcast.
Tangentially.
Okay. Something like that. And or talking out my ass was Roma, or is that Roma? Talking out my ass, Toma, something like that. But he had a van and he had his podcast stuff, and he would just go to town and find someone interesting and talk to them. And it was very on the road, very normal people rather than celebrities or whatnot. So you got some really interesting and unique conversations. I'm not sure if he does it anymore. I mean, he did it for quite a while. He was on Rogan several times, and yeah, but he made it work, and it was very cool. It was a very cool show.
Well, I think it's a way to utilize technology and expand your community in a certain sense that's, you know, I don't know that we're putting on airs here trying to be something we're not. Like, it's pretty realistic, and the stories that come out are pretty real, and it's not trying to make you think one way or the other. It's like we're sharing thoughts and experiences that other people can then take and kind of process in their own way. I mean, it's podcasting is such a great real medium in a world of trying to look and be and thought of a certain way.
Yeah. Sound bites.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah. That's why I love going 3 hours, because it's a marathon. So if you throw up a false image of whatnot, you want to be someone.
Yeah.
Rarely can anyone keep that up longer than 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you go 3 hours, and it's like the true character, the authentic self comes out of.
I'm just gonna.
Should I just?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. Comes out of the person, which is, I mean, you of all people have probably done a podcast, long form podcast.
Not really.
Not intentionally. Not that it was recorded, you know?
Yeah. No,
You've had
it's
long,
called
deep
my voice notes. I'm like, hey, listen to this.
You take voice notes. I didn't put that together. You send voice messages.
Yeah.
And you take voice notes. Mm-hmm. Oh my. How do you organize those?
I don't.
Oh,
it's
boy.
terrible.
Oh my.
I've got so many.
Okay. So I got some. Okay. Have you heard of Notebook LM? It's a Google thing. It's literally built for taking all your personal crap, all your ideas, notes, all that kind of stuff, essays, anything that you've created, voice notes, and putting them into a folder that the AI references and can organize or extract for you.
Interesting.
Yes. So you could just upload all that and then ask it, I don't even know what you'd ask. Are there any ideas that revolve around photography? Probably a lot. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about the prompt, but it's just it's a tool where you're able to sift through massive amounts of information and extract information, detailed and good information for your benefit.
What was it called again? Notebook
LM. It's Google based platform. But people will upload, entire notebooks and whatnot that, this notebook's got scribbles all in it, and the AI is able to help you organize it a little bit better.
Interesting.
Right. Something possibly to look into.
Yeah, it could be very dangerous.
It could be. It could be. Could be very powerful.
Yeah.
But, well, my good sir, 3 hours, 9 minutes, and a photograph at the end of it all.
Indeed.
I think it's a great place to wrap up.
Right on. Thank you. This is fantastically cool. Glad to be here. Glad to ramble. Glad to talk. Thank you.
Yes, I've had a blast. The stuff we talked about was fun. The drink was amazing. You can get this in Joplin for sure.
Joplin Greenhouse.
Oh,
and
Joplin Greenhouse. Shout out.
Hungry Monkey. I know.
What's Hungry Monkey?
You don't know what Hungry Monkey is?
Nope. I'm a hungry monkey, but
yeah. It's a restaurant down on Main Street near 9th and Main.
Okay.
And it's run by the same guy who runs the Queen's Bee.
How do I know that?
It's in the same building as Suzanne's Natural Foods. It's like crepes.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, this guy he's a chef. He's from Hawaii.
Oh.
I think he's from here originally. He's lived in Hawaii for a long time, and he's back. And so Hungry Monkey is like a Hawaiian food like bowl place where I want this bowl with like ahi tuna and these kind of noodles and all this and that kind of thing. And it's super good. That's really
Kelsey
good.
literally told me the other day that she went to Suzanne's and she's like, I almost got one of those bowls. But she didn't mention the Hungry Monkey. She just mentioned Suzanne's, but that's probably it.
Yeah. It's the one at Suzanne's is all crepes and they're incredible. But Suzanne's has like their own food place inside too, where you can get these beefy smoothies and these smoothie bowls and all this other stuff too. So yeah, Suzanne's is great also. But yeah, Hungry Monkey is just like 6 blocks south of here.
Okay.
It's really, really good. So yeah, Hungry Monkey or Joplin Greenhouse, you can get yourself some yume and it's so good. Or you can come to my studio for a portrait session and I have a case that I've been using for their product photos that I brought from today.
Right.
So
one session
shameless
with
plug.
a free can of yume.
But one of the pictures has to be you like pouring it into your mouth from like way up here.
Right.
Just,
I want you to dump it on yourself.
Yeah, just
how about that? Do you feel like dumping it on yourself?
Don't care. Got to do it.
So I guess to wrap up, if people wanted to work with you or get photographed or be part of a project that you are building,
yes,
what would they do to get into contact with you?
Send me an email. My email is Drew, DREW, at 1281photo.com, 1281photo.com.
I will put it right here. Yeah, there you go. I will put it at the end of the podcast. That way you don't have to listen to it or whatever.
Yeah, the easiest thing would be just to email me and we can work out what we're going to do and go from there.
Excellent. And then website and whatnot?
Website is 1281photo.com.
1281photo.com. Go check it out.
Yep.
Drew's got a great Instagram and Facebook and probably TikTok.
Nope.
No TikTok. He was born in 1981, so
Yeah. I'm an old man. I don't know about that
TikTok's
shit.
too much fun,
Yeah,
dude.
too much stuff.
Go check him out on all those platforms and get your picture taken by him. He's an awesome guy. Drink you may. Sir, thank you so much for coming on. Had a blast. I cannot wait till our next episode.
Indeed.
I have a lot to do. We have a lot of Wim Hofen to do.
Yes.
And
I forgot we were going to do that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But appreciate it very much, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Excellent. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to Sci-Fi and Friend Podcast, episode 94. Getting close to that 100 mark. I know you're tired of me talking about it. We're almost there, though. Check out Drew on all his platforms. And I hope you're having a great week. Oh, everything else. So, love you. Peace.
Of a smile, wait a while. One click, the shutter snaps, a secret black and white, ink on the heavy paper grain. He captures the joy and he catches the pain. Drew Kimble, our Kimble, legacy lives in the light he finds. Legacy lives in the lines of your face. The story is safe in his hand. The story is safe in this place. Drew Kimble, Drew Kimble. Focus, shadows across the jaw. He sees the man that you meant to become. When the long day is done, a flash gone in a dash. Look up, steady your weary eyes. The glass doesn't lie when the silver is wet. A moment you'll never forget. Drew Kimble, our Kimble. Legacy lives in the light he finds. Legacy lives in the lines of your face. The story is safe in his hands. The story is safe in this place. Drew Kimble, Drew Kimble. The negative stays, the memory plays, the chemicals wash the years away. He sees what you hide, he sees what's inside, leaving a mark that is here to stay. Legacy lives in the light he finds. Legacy lives in the lines of your face. The story is safe in his hands. The story is safe in this place. Drew Kimble, Drew Kimble. Just one more. Keep still. Drew Kimble. That's the one. Kimble, Kimble.
Sci-Fi wins.